Welcome back, everyone, to the Meadowlands Continental Airlines Arena. We are underway. Game 3, Eastern Conference quarterfinal, as Kate Battaglia, 13 in the red sweater, the big hero. Game 2 in Raleigh, scoring the contest-winning goal. Deep into overtime on a deflection for the left point. A shot from the Frenchman, Marek Malik. Ken Danico throws into the offensive zone for the Devils. Here's Aaron Ward. The former Red Wing, Paul Maurice, told us before the game, has played extremely well in the first 2 games in this series. He is ecstatic with his play from his rear guards. Defensemen have been outstanding.
Well, don't forget that this is a Carolina Hurricanes team that turned over half their defense from 2001 playoffs. So it's a lot different team, although Arthur Zerbe is getting a lot of deserved credit. The defense of the Hurricanes have been spectacular in front of him, clearing the puck away, making sure the Devils don't get into any rebounds.
Sakura and Elias trying to get things offensively in gear for a Jersey team that has really struggled. 2 goals combined in the first 2 games.
Well, the Devils have got to get the puck in, get it in deep, and pound the Carolina Hurricanes and get this big crowd behind them early.
Elias, bouncing puck. Here's Berglund, the rookie, a shot. Easy stick save by Arthur Zerbe. Paul Maurice told us before the game, Carolina's got to be more comfortable, as there's a big hit in its own zone where the Devils control play. O'Neill left that one for Kaplan, and it's swept away by Jersey out through the neutral zone. Here's Wesley. The veteran defenseman, 2 in red, missed game 1 with a shoulder injury of the series, but came back despite the fact he was not 100% and had a great kill in game 2 in Raleigh. And of course, this time of the year, you're going to play hurt.
I see they put the Devils have Joe Nieuwendyk out there with the 2 newcomers, if you want to call them that, Brian Giant and Stefan Richer, back into the lineup here tonight. And of course, who do they throw between them but Joe Nieuwendyk right off the bat?
Wasacek, the big centerman, 63. Rebound came right to him. Just missed the handle in the slot. Wasacek shot blocked away. Tipped by Joe Nieuwendyk, who missed game 1 with a bad flu. Couldn't get out of bed in his hotel in Raleigh. And the hotel didn't have the game on TV. Didn't even get to watch it. But he played well in game 2. Really different Devil attack with Nieuwendyk in there alone. Is he ever good after the trade? Well, Pandolfo went head first, and in the end, boards no call from our referee.
And the good news is Nieuwendyk did get to see a lot of NASCAR.
Kevin Adams trying to swing it out for Carolina. Here's Rafalski at the point. His shot deflected wide. McKenzie down low, got the tip to the left of Urban. Arthur spectacular in game 1. Game 2 made big saves when he had to. He snuffed out Berglund in game 1. Breakaway really stood on his head. Last year, after a couple of games in a struggle against Jersey, remember Carolina went down 0-3 in that series before making it a 6-gamer. Urban was average in the first couple of games, then really turned it on. But Battaglia ahead of the pack was just offside.
Well, the Devils' stalwart goaltender, Martin Brodeur, he's second behind Patrick Roy in consecutive playoff starts. Patrick Roy has played 107 straight, and tonight, or this afternoon rather, Martin Brodeur plays his 100th straight playoff down at the other end. The guy that's probably best known in his career as being a Shark, Arthur Zerbe, 7-11 lifetime in the playoffs, and certainly been all the Devils could handle in the first 2 games.
30 saves, 31 shots against Urbe in game 2 of this series in Raleigh. Now we're back to Jersey, and you get the feeling from talking with Carolina coach Paul Maurice and his players, this is anything but an overconfident team. Hill and Marek Malik on the blue line here for the Canes. Paul Maurice told us we held serve. That's all we did in the first 2 games. Let's not get overconfident. Brind'Amour shot. That's wide of Brodeur, who sticks it to the end boards. Rod Brind'Amour regains. He has been brilliant on faceoffs all year. And Carolina, the best faceoff team in the regular season in the National Hockey League. Battaglia center tried for the spectacular rookie Cole, who lets it all the way down ice as his stick was held up. And Urban plays for the defenseman Aaron Ward. That Hennigan is paired with Aaron Ward. O'Neill some speed. Just 1 career playoff tally for Jeff O'Neill. And none so far in the 2 games of this first-round series.
Kevin Constantine, the coach that took over the New Jersey Devils on January 29th, took them to 29-1 the rest of the regular season, replaced the gentleman that it happens to be to his right now, although you don't see him on that screen, Larry Robinson, the Hall of Fame defenseman. An interesting story. There's Larry bending over talking to one of the players. Something that he likes to do is get involved with the players on a personal basis and do some teaching. And it's really amazing story about Larry Robinson this season coming back to the Devils.
Elias for Berglund across the line. Patrick for the net. Team's leading scorer, 26 in white. Elias this year had his point numbers go right down the twos. Berglund is shaking up along those half boards far side. And I see some blood on the ice. He's going to need some medical assistance.
Trainer hesitating to come out there. Let's take a look at what happened on this. Oh, his face ran into the boards on a tough check there. Can't quite make out. And Berglund goes right back for medical repairs into the dressing room. Kevin Constantine, as we said, coached in Pittsburgh and San Jose before that. Hasn't won a playoff game in almost 3 years, Dave. Last playoff victory for Kevin Constantine as a head coach was when he coached a Pittsburgh victory over the Toronto Maple Leafs, May 11th, 1999.
Trying to change that here today. Big game with Carolina. Elias. His goaltender interference call was not a penalty, but an interference call took away a Brian Rafalski tally in game 2. Crucial part of the game. And Elias said afterwards, very upset because Arthur Zerbe, he felt, was trying to intentionally bring the contact to him outside the crease. Controversial call.
A lot of those goalies are good at that. Dominic Hasek does the same thing in Detroit. They are able to get out and make it look to the referee like there's contact.
Two-line pass stops play. Paul Maurice feels that these New Jersey Devils could be the best team in the Eastern Conference, and the last thing his Canes are now is overconfident. Really feels good, too, about how his team has responded to New Jersey goals because of leaders like Rod Brind'Amour and Ron Francis, the captain. One of the best he has seen in any dressing room. Paul Maurice, the only coach, of course, in Carolina Hurricane history since they moved from Hartford.
And, of course, he also coached the Whalers before they got out of there. But Paul Maurice has a long history with the ownership and management of the Carolina Hurricanes, going back to his junior days when he played for Jimmy Rutherford and Peter Karmanos on the Windsor Spitfires.
Moondyke some speed. Needs the offensive zone, little stop and go. Leaves for the defense. On the move, his shot. Abilene is kicked aside into the corner by Urban. Richer did not play in the first 2 games with a foot injury. Returns to the Devil lineup. He came in a late season trade at the deadline from Pittsburgh. Second time around for 44 in white. That play is whistled down because Nieuwendyk was already in the offensive zone. It's offside.
Here's the Devils' last opportunity, and one of the first opportunities of this young game. Put out into the high slot for the trailer. Coming in late, the defenseman, a wrist shot. Urbe sees it all the way. And right there you see what the Carolina defense is doing so well as they're letting Arturs Urbe see the puck. See that? See how everybody is being cleared away from the front. They can't get to a rebound. And thus, it makes it a lot easier for the goaltender.
Abilene in a bid for his 7th career goal, 56th career playoff game for the veteran. And we've got a call on the near wall. Bill McCreary says a hooking minor has occurred here in the first period. The Devil fans feel they'll be on the power play. Greg McDonald is slowly making his way to the box. Joined by Dan Marawelli as the referees, Jean Morin and Stefan Provost, the linesman.
Here it is right here. There's the little tug on John Madden, the Selke Trophy winner. I almost said Conn Smythe. So young Craig McDonald goes into the box. That's when the referee in the neutral zone, Bill McCreary, caught that one. When the one referee system, that wouldn't have been seen by the deep referee.
So a power play, Neil, that was 4th best on home ice during the regular season in the NHL, almost 20%. We'll try to get it going here in this series. They've struggled just to 1 tally thus far.
Now, don't forget, Dave, we did the game the other night, Vancouver and Detroit. Detroit got 2 power plays in the first period, couldn't get anything going, and Vancouver ends up winning the game, capitalizing in Joe Louis Arena. Let's see if the same thing happens here.
Rafalski to Elias. He has the lone power play goal scored by Jersey in this series. Only 4 players have registered a point for Jersey in the first 2 games. That's it. 2 goals, 2 assists. Elias some time. Thought about a shot then. He fires off the glove of Urbe to the end boards and cleared by Ron Brind'Amour down ice.
Paul Maurice told us before the game that early penalties are momentum changers. If you can kill it off, you get the momentum. If they score, they've got it.
Big shot made wide by Langenbrunner. The ex-Dallas Star now making an appearance here in Jersey for the first time in the postseason as a Devil. Elias, near side. Power play underway. Key part of the game early. Elias thought about a one-timer. Here's Sikora at the left point. Rafalski at the other. Tap pass, Rafalski outside that right circle. Through traffic, and it's covered up by Artur Zerbe. A draw deep in his zone.
Once again, you see that the puck, Zerbe could see that puck all the way through. That shot by Patrick Elias, whose production was down this season for some unexplained reasons. But let's take a look at how the defense is keeping people away from the front of the net again. There's Nieuwendyk out in front, but you see the push right at the right time, and there's no chance that he can tip that or get near it because the defense is right all over it.
Good playoff numbers, Neil, but you're right. His stats this year down 35 points from his franchise best 96 last year. He went from a plus 45 leading the NHL to a plus 4.
The Devils, of course, on a whole, their season wasn't as good. Ending in the middle of the pack in the Eastern Conference.
Finished in the 6th slot, swept away by Brindamore. Third-seeded Carolina, having won the Southeast Division again.
But with less points than the 6th-seeded New Jersey Devils, folks. Don't forget that.
Richer some speed. Didn't make the trip to Raleigh for the first 2 games. Here's Holik, who's been the best scorer according to the Devils in the first 2 games. Rafalski at the right point sometime. Niedermeyer outside the left circle. Richer to the point. Rafalski winds up his shot through traffic. Is tipped over the glass and out of play.
That went off of Adams and high up over the glass. It's a double-edged sword when you try to block a shot in high front of the net. Let's take a look at the traffic here that they try to put in front of Artur Zerbe. Adams goes down and deflects this one high over our camera. But as I was just saying, it's a double-edged sword. You go to block a shot, you might deflect it high up into your own net.
Carolina, Neil, has blocked 64 shots in the first 2 games total. 15 different players were able to block shots in game 2. And during the regular season, they were 15th best of 30 teams in the NHL. But sometimes that can be a misleading stat.
Well, it can be. And one thing, it takes a lot of ice cubes to soothe all those bruises after the game on the Charter.
That's right. It can hurt.
Right. Like last year with Toronto's defenseman Dmitry Yushkevich, who this year not playing with the blood clot situation. As we look at Rod Brindamore, Rod came over to the Carolina Hurricanes in the Keith Primo trade for the Philadelphia Flyers and has done a great job. A good pickup, obviously, by Jimmy Rutherford. Not the stature of Primo, but certainly a player that's very valuable to this team.
Second best in the NHL in faceoffs. Takes the draw there. Doesn't win it, though. Regular season, Yannick Crow of Montreal, the only better player in the run. Shot from Niedermeyer deflected. Glass, Holik trying to keep it alive and cycle. Good play. Brindamore to Cole, and he'll spring out. Into the offensive zone. Eric Cole, the rookie. A sweet New York native. Has he ever been good? Throughout the regular season, exceeded expectations. Paul Maurice absolutely loves him. He plays a fearless brand of hockey. Not being intimidated at all by Scott Stevens in the first 2 games of this series. Shot from Holik. Rebound loose and score! Brian Gionta, the rookie, his first ever playoff goal!
Well, we talked about having to control the rebounds. The defensemen have been doing this. In this case, they didn't. Wallin couldn't get control of the Devils' Brian Gionta. A little bit too much enthusiasm out of the rookie, and he went right through. But let's face it, folks, Arturs has to have that one. Let's take a look from the eyes of our Southwest Airlines goal cam. There's the rebound, there's Gionta, and there's the goal. But Artur Zerbe has to let that hit him in the belly and pillow it in like a big Pillsbury doughboy. But that one got away from him.
Brian Gionta making a big hit along the end boards there against Malik, who's almost a foot taller than him. Gionta's about 5 feet 8 inches, folks, a native of Rochester, New York, who last year was the Hockey East Player of the Year for Boston College and Jerry York when they won the NCAA championship about 2 hours north of us in Albany, New York. Led the nation in goals scored last year at Boston College and now has his first ever playoff goal. Penalty coming up again. Kapanen taking down Niedermeyer. A delay call. Brodeur is trying to get himself out of the net when he can.
Well, he can anytime he wants. He just doesn't understand that it's a delayed penalty.
There he
Now
goes.
he
He's
wakes
waiting
up.
for Niedermeyer to come through to get the extra attacker on the ice. Delay call against Carolina. Kane's trying to make a touch-up. They still can't. Look at Niedermeyer control the puck. What a skater he is, finally. The play is made by Kapanen, and when we come back, we'll see Sammy Kapanen and Carolina shorthanded. Celebration time in Jersey. They finally got a goal, thanks to Gianto.
Here's what's coming up on AFN Sports. AFN Sports, your 24/7 sports channel.
Learn how to make your money work for you with the 266 Finance Command's Financial Readiness Improvement Program. Each month, learn an important element of financial planning. Topics covered include setting financial goals, budgeting, managing debt, and investing and planning for retirement. Go to www.266fc.hqusur.army.mil. Start making your money work for you.
To fly Space A, fax your leave form to the terminals you want to use. Then sign up on the day you want to fly. When the customer service agent calls your name, show the proper identification. Then check in at the counter, pay the usage fee, and get your seat assignment. Now all you have to do is wait in a comfortable lobby while the cabin crew prepares the airplane. Take advantage of one of your military benefits. Fly Space A. But remember, the trip starts here.
Have to do. They had to jump on him. The shots are 7-1 with this shot here that gets through Artur Zerbe. Joe Nieuwendyk might have touched it. Standing on the edge of the crease. One more look. Rafalski with a wrist shot. I think it went off the shin pad of Ward, but it might have been touched by Nieuwendyk. But this is exactly what the Devils had to do to get themselves back in this series. Come home to the Continental Airlines Arena, get this 20,000 people screaming and yelling, get a 2-goal lead, and humble the confidence level of a very confident Carolina Hurricanes.
Paul Maurice told us, Neil, before the game that he just knew New Jersey would be looking into the eyes today of Carolina early, wondering if the 2-0 series lead was a fluke. Now, we'll see how this young, very confident team for the Canes coming in as play is whistled down on the icing call. We'll see how they respond to adversity. Jersey's struggling power play finally clicks. For now, Rafalski gets his 10th career playoff tally.
I think that one went off the shin pad of Aaron Ward. I think Aaron Ward kicked out his leg trying to block that shot, and it hit the shin pad. As we see it go back to Rafalski here. Now see Aaron Ward, number 4, right there. Boom. See, when he kicked out his left leg, I believe it nicked his shin pad, and Artur Zerbe was just off by a touch, and that's all a goalie needs is just a minuscule touch of the puck will make it change direction and throw a goaltender off his bearings.
White from the point, shot through traffic, rebound sent just over by Gianto, bid for a second goal in this first period. Oh, the Devils are buzzing. Now at the point, Niedermeyer shot, airbound. Madden trying to tip it home. It looks like a power play. We're at full strength, aren't we? Pandolfo lets it go through. Oh, goodness, is Carolina on its heels now. The ice has been tilted since the drop of the puck. Gianto shot. And sticks out by a very shaky Zerbe.
Well, I think, Dave, really the thing that's got this Devils team going was the 2 goals. And certainly everything has changed since they made it 1-0. That's when the ice started to tilt. Then the Hurricanes took an ill-advised penalty right after that, and they scored a second one on the power play, which has given them total command of this game.
And the Devils responding to the crowd, trying to be physical as well. Here's Wallin. Big defenseman waiting for Brindamore, and he's blasted by Holik into the near wall. What a hit, Bobby Holik. Now Breelandson speed, offensive zone. We've got a penalty call. Bill McCreary behind the play has got a penalty. We'll work it out when we return. Rafalski, a power play goal. And the Devils are in great shape, cruising up 2-0.
really know how to organize their day, including knowing when to schedule leisure time.
This week on Destinations, get ready for some football. Destinations is hitting the road with the Frankfurt Galaxy as they take on the Barcelona Dragons. Don't miss Destination Barcelona, 6:30 p.m. on AFN Europe.
Get your copy of Maximum Motors. It's the only publication dedicated solely to keeping customers tuned up about new and used vehicles in Yukon. Find out information about everything from hot rods to hoopties. Maximum Motors features in-depth information on purchasing and maintaining cars and motorcycles, including car reviews, dealer and service directories, used car and motorcycle listings, and more. Maximum Motors is available every other Friday as an insert in Stars and Stripes. Maximize your horsepower with Maximum Motors. Now is your chance to extend your European tour. The Combat Maneuver Training Center in Hohenfels, Germany is looking for branch-qualified senior NCOs in combat arms or combat support MOSs to train today's and tomorrow's warriors. Contact your Personnel Administration Center for more details.
Penalty gives the Carolina Hurricanes their first power play of the afternoon, but it was actually a Hurricane that tried to elbow Langenbrunner and fell on his duffet. But Langenbrunner, nevertheless, gets thrown into the sin bin.
12th best power play during the regular season, Carolina. Overall, 10th best on the road. Road power play unit now really tested. This is O'Neill outside the left circle. Francis, the captain, and leading scorer down low. He's been an ace on the power play all year. Led the NHL power play points total. Shot from the point, knocked into the midst of a scrum. Elliott trying to clear. Hill looked to keep it in and could not. It was beyond the blue line and whistled offside. Tonight, the quest for the most hallowed trophy in sports continues. Over on ESPN2, a Stanley Cup playoff doubleheader. 1-1 series with the Blues and Blackhawks, and oh my, the Detroit Red Wings most points in the regular season in the NHL. Neil, you and I saw the Red Wings of Scotty Bowman fall apart as Berglund has returned to the Jersey lineup in Game 2 against Vancouver.
They certainly did, and they're going to have to regroup tremendously from what we saw at Joe Louis Arena in Game 2 to beat that very confident and very young Vancouver Canuck team that's just full of energy and really having fun with that series.
Head-to-head in the regular season, you saw the numbers a moment ago in the playoffs. 4 games. 2 for 13, Carolina. Head-to-head with Jersey. Jersey had a great finish to the regular season, winning 6 straight games. Here's Wasacek outside the right circle, broken up by Madden. A penalty kill, ace 11 in the white sweater with Pandolfo. They are the penalty kill duo for Kevin Constantine, and been so effective over the past few years.
Carolina has to either score here, Dave, that would be preferable, or at least do well enough to get their confidence level up and make sure that they know that they're still in this game.
Great play by the rookie Coles. He stripped it off the goal stick of Brodeur. Not easily done, who handles the puck so well. Now Brindamore outside the right circle. Walks in, looks for angle. Deflected off a body to the near corner. Bianca, the rookie, getting time, and he's crushed by Cole. Another rookie. A couple of upstate New York guys. Oswego and Rochester coming head-to-head there. Hill, a big shot. And stop made by Brodeur. It's cleared away, and a penalty's coming up. It's going to be on Carolina, and we will have things being evened up for 15 seconds, and then a Jersey power play.
It's going to be Bates Battaglia going into the penalty box here for high sticking, I would think. We'll see what the call is, but it's a definite penalty on Battaglia.
Number 13, Carolina, 2 minutes for high sticking.
Yes, we were right on that one. It was a high sticking penalty to Bates Battaglia as the Devils player was able to throw his head back in good theatrical fashion right here. There you go. The stick came up too high on Colin White, and he put his head back to make sure the referee noticed it. There you go. That is a high sticking penalty, whether he put his head back or not. And so the New Jersey Devils get their 3rd power play of the afternoon. The shots being 9-2 already.
We're 4-on-4 for 15 seconds, and then we'll have the power play, which so far is 1 for 2. Rafalski has the tally for the Devils today. And here he is at the right point. He and Niedermeyer together. 4-on-4 for a few more seconds. And then Langenbrunner hops out of the box, and we're to a standard 5-on-4 power play. Hannigan trying to clear. And Langenbrunner pops out of the box. Power play time now for the Devils already. Nope. With a 2-goal cushion. Hit hard by Henning. Into the near corner. Center try Elias. Sakura not there. And the Devils have to reload. What a start for Jersey. That's their second lead in this series. Carolina's rebounding when they've needed to in the first two games, and that was in front of a raucous, electric atmosphere in Raleigh. Different story here. Appreciate some time. Cross-ice Elias. It's intercepted by Malik. And the lumbering defenseman, huge blue liner for Carolina, sends in.
1 minute.
Minutes to go, power play time for Jersey. Here's Rafalski cruising up. He had been ice cold, hadn't scored a goal in some 40 games before tallying here in the playoffs. Not much going offensively. At the end of the regular season, Cedric trying to one-timer. Richer missed the net. What an opportunity, Stefan Richer, to make it 3-0. Now Brindamore shorthanded, busts out. No drag move. He's knocked aside. Hit by Rafalski through traffic. Niedermeyer. Tipped up into the air. Holik kicks into the offensive zone. Grabbed by Hill. And it's offside.
Well, let's take a look at a bit of a difference from the first two games to so far what's going on this afternoon, and you see it right there. Here's a look at the last opportunity that the Devils had. Stefan Richer, a veteran goal scorer, put it right by the far side of the net. You see his reaction there, isn't very happy. Holik gets a little bit of a stick here from Brindamore. Boom, right there. And that can hurt. And you see there's a little damage to the lip of Bobby Holik, but he's given out a lot more than that in his time.
Richer knows a thing or two about playoff goals, Neil. 53 in his career, and 15 of those on the power play.
He scored a few of them against the New York Rangers.
Unfortunately, I was just going to bring that up. The rivals across the river. Stevens, here's Abilene some time at the right point. Final seconds tick away the power play. Gianza has one of the two. Devils tallies that at even strength. On a rebound, Urbe should have had and lost. Wallin did not back check. And Gianza, the rookie, charged to the net. Aggressively gets his first ever playoff goal. It's a two-line pass for Kevin Adams. So now Carolina's got a rebound. Suddenly in a hole for the first time this Eastern Conference quarterfinal series.
Paying off your credit card balances can be like scaling a mountain. You just can't do it in one big leap. It takes many small, carefully measured, yet aggressive steps. And when you've reached your goal, your investment in financial stability can mean a savings of possibly hundreds of dollars in interest each year. But it all begins with a single step. And the rewards are well worth the climb.
TRICARE knows the need for medical advice isn't limited to business hours. With the Healthcare Information Line, you can pick up your telephone anytime and speak to a registered nurse about your health concerns. Get the toll-free number for your country from your TRICARE representative, or log on to the TRICARE Europe webpage and look under beneficiary information. Toll-free, 24 hours a day, every day. The Healthcare Information Line. Medical advice when you need it.
Just because you need a passport to travel to most places doesn't mean you have to travel far to get one. Now, most installations have a passport office staffed with a passport agent. They help fill out the forms and ensure that your application packet is complete. When your passport is issued by the consulate or embassy, they will send your passport to your servicing passport office via military courier or registered mail. Once it arrives, you will be notified that your passport is ready for pickup.
In the playoffs, just 2 goals in this series heading into this game, dating back to the Colorado Finals. 3 goals in the past 4 playoff tilts, but it all changes here today. What's been the difference?
Well, the difference has been Artur Zerbe should have had that first one, Dave, and the second one, of course, would have gone in on anybody, but Carolina's got to go out here and get some momentum going for himself. 2 shots on net with 5 minutes to go in the period. Just isn't going to win on the road.
Wallin shot from the point. Did not get through traffic. Francis trying to recover. Here's Berglund. Return to the Devil lineup. Len Wesley. Long-time veteran defenseman. Instead, Brodeur holds up. O'Neill trying to make a play in the near corner. He's not as well off from last year's explosion, too. Now Jeff O'Neill trying to create. Meyer and White look to double-team him. Kapanen waits. Sammy Kapanen behind the net. Lots of time to set up. Trying to bank it in front off a body, perhaps, to get it to Francis. First intercepted by the Devils, and Niedermeyer can speed and time. Scott Niedermeyer, plenty of time to set up. Rifles it in. Sent right on by Bergman. A backhand try. It was loose for a moment. And finally, Urbe covers up.
Wallow.
Coming up, Neil Smith, our Southwest Airlines intermission report. Sports Center in game with Dave Revson. Drew Bledsoe on the move. NFL draft continuing across the river in New York City with big news going on there. In this building, the Nets lost their playoff opener yesterday. 76ers and the Green Team in the NBA playoffs.
Kevin Constantine has to be pretty happy about the way his team has started. The shots 10-2 here in the Meadowlands, and they've got this big crowd behind them completely, and they've got the momentum.
Holik and Wasacek take the draw. Now it's Swoboda, 2-on-1 chance with Jelinek. The rookie Swoboda in. Rebound, loose. Jelinek couldn't quite reach it. Great save by Martin Brodeur. Shuts the door on Carolina's bid. Jaroslav Swoboda, who up at the end of the regular season has been very effective for Carolina. Really like his game. He play physically. For someone not quite 200 pounds. And take a pounding and keep on going. And Brodeur has done just that as the shutout is preserved.
Let's take a look right off this faceoff. Scott Stevens has lucky horseshoes. He's caught way up the ice. A 2-on-1 if Carolina scores here. They could have got the momentum, but that man there stopped it cold. Even though you didn't maybe see it, he stopped it. Scott Stevens, some luck on his side there because he usually doesn't get caught. He got caught off balance, and Carolina probably wishes they got that one back.
Brodeur today, Neil, in his 101st consecutive Devils playoff start. Got to go back to Game 7 of the Boston series in '94 when Martin Brodeur was not in net for the Devils in a playoff game. It's been that long.
To start the game.
Game 7 of that series in Boston. Cole trying to get to it. Kenzie, far wall. Madden trying to center, nobody home for New Jersey. The 2-goal lead, 3.5 left. And a dominant opening period for the Eastern Conference champs. Sean Hill trying to golf it out of his own zone. He's hit hard as well. Everyone throwing the body around. Here for New Jersey. We talked about it, Neil, at the top of the broadcast, how physical Carolina was in Raleigh, but Jersey has turned the tables here.
They certainly have, and that's all to do with confidence. When you play physical, a lot of the times it's because you're mentally confident in doing it. There's a high sticking penalty coming up on Ken Danico as he catches Jeff O'Neill around the head. And the veteran Danico, who's played in every single Devils playoff game in their existence, shakes his head.
Playoff game number 159.
3 New Jersey, 2 for high stick.
For Ken Danico, 22 points and now up to 290 penalty minutes.
There's the shot to the side. It was basically a cross-check. Let's take another look here. Look at the bottom right of your screen. Right there. Got him with a bit of a glove in the side of the head, and he's explaining it right now to the minor official, seeing if he can do something about it.
Power play try here for Carolina. Thoroughly dominated in the opening 20 minutes. And the team's leading scorer, great leader, Ron Francis, will take the draw. O'Neill and Wasacek up front. Kapanen and Sean Hill at the points. That's cleared down ice by Jersey. We're very close to the ice here in the Meadowlands. You can actually hear Ken Danico's complaint. This is playoff hockey. That shouldn't be a call on the power play from Bill McCreary, but that fell on deaf ears. Physical play again in Carolina's zone. Hill is rubbed out. Right in front of the benches on the far side. Now Elias trying to sweep it loose and clear the zone. And Scott Stevens handles that duty. Rifle right back in by Sammy Kapanen. Stevens, who had the huge open ice hits last year, KOing former Carolina Hurricane Shane Willis, now in Tampa Bay for the Kevin Weeks trade. And Ron Francis, 2 concussions, but none this year. The Canes really have stood up for themselves so far in the series.
Watch how hard if they try to shoot this puck in. The Carolina Hurricanes didn't do it that time. Trying to rifle the puck in because Brodeur is such a good puck handler that Paul Maurice doesn't want him to be able to get that puck on his power play.
Look at the hustle by Colin White. Just beats Cole to the puck in the corner and helps clear it Out of the defensive zone, and Brodeur, great stick handler as the goaltender, one of the best the game has ever seen. Lobs it down ice, clears himself. 40 seconds and counting for heading.
A goalie that can handle the puck like that, Dave, that's your best penalty killer. If you can handle the puck like that, that's like having a 5-on-5 back. Carolina going to get a penalty now.
Yeah, Breland, offensive zone delay call. It's going to come against Carolina. You're right, Neil. Even things up. Breland's going to take his time here. They have the extra attacker on the ice.
And the Devils are trying to kill off their own penalty here, get down so that they'll get a complete power play. That's what they're trying to do, and I'm surprised that Carolina's not being more aggressive. They're going to use up their own power play and have to kill a penalty. They should be as aggressive as possible to get that puck.
Elias into the backhand try, and a stop made by Irbe. What an incredible effort by Jersey, eliminating, as Neil pointed out, what would have been a 4-on-4 had Carolina made the touch-up. Instead, they'll get 56.3 seconds of power play time. Roughing call against the Hurricanes, and now the power play for Jersey for the rest of the period.
Classic Scott Stevens attempt to hit, and if he had connected on Sammy Kapanen on that one, you might have had a 2002 Shane Willis. There's the penalty right there, the punch at Brian Rafalski from Eric Cole, and then a scoring chance from the Devils as Elias makes a tremendous move and goes in, but Artur Irbe is there, and this time he didn't allow the rebound to come out. Look at that move by Elias, and a good backhander, but Irbe snuffs out the rebound on that backhand.
They are the hits, and boy, have the Devils turned the tables in that big stat, which had been dominated by Carolina in the first two games of the series. Totally different game 3. As it's sent down ice by Brindamore on a clear. Into another huge face-off. 45 and counting left in the first period. And there will be some carry over power play time for Jersey in the second frame. Rafalski offensive zone. Feeds Nordijk. Gardens it along the right wing for Holik. Elias is set up in front. And partially tipped. Nice play. Made in his own zone by Daniels. That was cleared out to center ice. Elias near corner with Wesley watching the board, trying to blast it out of the zone. He'll do just that in the final moments of the first.
Well, the Carolina Hurricanes can't have the Devils do anything here or they're in huge trouble, so they've got to make sure that they keep it away as it goes offside. That's the best way, make them go offside.
Under 5 seconds left. Brian Rafalski has one of the two scored by Jersey. Brian Giunta, the rookie out of Boston College. And Rochester, New York, has the other in this dominant first period by Jersey. So what's Paul Maurice going to talk about, along with the great leadership with Rod Brindamore and Ron Francis in that room?
Remember, we posed this question to him today in the hallway before the game. What happens if you do get down by a goal or two? He said you've just got to keep everybody to keep their composure. Try to lean on your veterans and go into the room and make sure your team doesn't lose their composure.
When we come back from the commercial break, the Sports Center in-game intermission report. Southwest Airlines intermission report coming your way. Devils have a big lead.
ESPN's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by Rolling Rock Beer. Grab a rock. By Audi. In technology, performance, and design, our goal remains constant. Never follow. And by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the National Hockey League.
In ancient times, weddings were joyous occasions, but they were not without certain dangers. The kinsmen of the bride often threatened to steal her back from her new husband. So weddings were held at night, with the wedding party armed and ready for attack. Today's military wedding, with its protective row of arched sabers, is a remnant of those early dangerous days. The military wedding, a colorful part of America's proud military tradition.
The mission of the Air National Guard fighter remains the same. What's changing is the face of the person who flies it. The Air National Guard.
Nice job. To a person recovering from substance use, what you say comes through loud and clear.
Daddy! I'm so glad
There's
you're
life
home.
after substance use. If you want one or know someone who does, please call 1-800-662-HELP.
USO Paris meets all your tourism needs while visiting the City of Lights. Our friendly bilingual staff can help you with all of your travel plans. We now offer hotel reservations online. To book a room or to get more details on Paris, simply log on to our website.
Don't miss out. Visit School-Age Services to check out what they offer.
Sam, the older I get, the more stuff I end up responsible for. Washing you, doing my homework, picking up my room. It never ends.
Some of our most important responsibilities are just common sense.
Son, I know it's easy to forget to turn the faucet off when you're busy, but whether I'm at home or the office, I'm concerned about saving water. And you know what? You should be too. Right, Sam?
It's up to all of us to conserve water.
This is your esophagus. This is your ballpoint pen. This is the 9th time. Now, it's not the injury, it's the cumulative effect. Shh. What are you doing?
Must-win game for the Devils and playing with a real sense of urgency in the first period as they outshot Carolina 11-3. They lead it 2-0 after one. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Southwest Airlines Intermission Report. I'm Dave Revson. Lots of other hockey later tonight. The Wings in Vancouver down 2-0. Of course, it seems like quite a shock with the great season that Detroit had. But keep in mind, Vancouver just 6 points away from being the number 2 seed. It was all very tightly packed in the West after the Red Wings, including the regular season. Vancouver unbeaten now in its last 11 at 9-0-2. Wings did win the President's Trophy with 116 points, but still haven't won a game in April. That game 10 Eastern on ESPN2 tonight. Elsewhere this evening, Hawks and the Blues, 7 Eastern ESPN2. Series tied at a game apiece coming in, as you can see. First postseason home games for the Blackhawks since '97. They're a great home team, just 7 regulation losses at the United Center this season. Also tonight, Montreal and Boston. Talked about Detroit, the top seed in the West, having problems there. Boston, of course, the East top seed, also in a hole down at 1-0. We have some football news. The Bills have agreed to trade their top pick in next year's draft, the 2003 draft, to the Patriots in exchange for quarterback Drew Bledsoe. ESPN's Sean Clayton tells us the trade will be announced once Bledsoe talks to Pats owner Robert Kraft. Bledsoe, of course, made expendable due to the ascent of Tom Brady, who led the Pats to the Super Bowl title, and Alex Van Pelt, the only real viable quarterback option right now for the Bills. It is the Sixers and the Celtics, a storied rivalry meeting in the playoffs for the first time since the mid-1980s. Allen Iverson back in the lineup for Philly. Remember, he's missed about the last month with that broken bone in his hand, but Iverson was back, and there he is, and he looked pretty good early on. Iverson, first quarter, hits the tough jumper there. 15 points in the first quarter for Iverson, but would finish with just 20 in the game. Time running down. Look at Walter McCarty. Nearly half court, and he hits it. Celtics up by 3 after 1. They led up by 6 at the half. Third quarter, that's Paul Pierce for 3. Celtics by 9. Later, they're rolling. McCarty, the tip.
This is Combat Camera. I'm Air Force Sergeant Sean Lehman. Airmen give the State Department a VIP tour in Italy. At Aviano Air Base, troops show members of a State Department seminar the ins and outs of Air Force life. During the 2-day visit, State Department personnel saw everything from how a pilot ejects safely from an F-16 to a bomb-loading demonstration. The visit gave the State Department a better understanding of the current and future roles of the Air Force in supporting our nation's foreign policy and security objectives. Here's one view the State Department workers didn't get to see. An F-15 pilot releases a flare to distract a simulated heat-seeking missile. Members of the 67th Fighter Squadron flew high above the coast of Okinawa on a training mission. That's Combat Camera.
Strength is the result of conditioning. It's a result of setting goals and meeting them. By pushing yourself, you increase your potential. And that applies to strengthening your mind as well as your body. The saying, knowledge is power, is especially true in the service. By pursuing a college education, you can increase your potential for promotion. For a workout program that can really give you an edge, exercise your mind. Contact your education counselor.
Navy, accelerate your life.
I can still feel his hooks in my ribs and taste the leather from his uppercuts. So why should I get out of the corner? Because I'd gladly take another 3 minutes of pain for a shot at the title. Wouldn't you?
Well, welcome back to the Southwest Airlines Intermission Report. I'm Dave Revson. Devils up 2-0 after one. Some baseball injury news. Andy Pettitte battling elbow problems, felt a bit of a twinge as he was throwing yesterday. That was enough for the Yankees. They put him on the 15-day disabled list. He's eligible to come off May the 1st. Dodgers, Kevin Brown headed to the DL for the 4th time in 13 months. He is swelling in his surgically repaired elbow. And things just continue to go miserably for the Texas Rangers. Pudge Rodriguez, out 4 to 6 weeks with a herniated disc. Will be placed on the DL Monday or Tuesday when the Rangers return to town. Cubs and the Reds, what a phenomenal story this is. Jose Rijo, first start since July of 1995, was out of the majors for 6 years with elbow problems. And look at that line, pretty good. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits for him as the Reds on top of the Cubs by the score of 4-1. Adam Dunn, a 2-run triple in the first inning to provide half of Cincinnati's runs. Don't forget Sunday Night Baseball this evening. A's and Angels. Corey Lytle and Aaron Seeley set to take to the hill. A's look to make it 3 out of 4 in this series. We are back momentarily, and don't forget second period is coming up from New Jersey.
Practice good force protection on the job, but how about at home? Take a few steps to make your home more secure. Always lock doors and windows when leaving your home. Have a peephole installed if possible. Be wary of unexpected visitors such as repairmen or salesmen. Credentials and uniforms can be fake. Call the company they claim to represent. Force protection is UCOM Priority 1.
Having the right merchandise readily available to you is very important to the APHIS team here in Europe. Our state-of-the-art distribution centers help to ensure fast delivery to our stores. Most items are delivered by surface ship. Time-critical items such as magazines, books, and videos arrive by commercial air. Our goal is to keep our shelves fully stocked at all times. If you have any concerns about our service, feel free to discuss them with your APHIS store manager.
In 1799, the newly formed American Navy scored its first major victory in an undeclared war against French piracy. The USS Constellation captured the French Navy ship Insurgent in the West Indies and took 173 of her crew prisoner. As American merchant ships expanded their trade routes, the first ever products imported from Japan arrived in Boston Harbor. In America's first organized labor action, shoemakers walked off the job. They won the 9-day strike, coining a new term in the process. Strikebreakers have been called scabs ever since. At year's end, Americans said goodbye to their country's founding father. George Washington died in his Mount Vernon home at the age of 67. fellow General Light Horse Harry Lee eulogized the late president as first in war, first in peace, first in the hearts of his countrymen. This was America in 1799.
Back on the Southwest Airlines Intermission Report, I'm Dave Revson, and as we told you, lots more hockey tonight. We'll break it all down for you on the NHL tonight, 1 a.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. Check in on Detroit, Vancouver. Will the Red Wings get that much-needed win? St. Louis and Chicago, Montreal and Boston as well, all going at it this evening, and all the highlights on NHL tonight. The Devils just 2 goals in the first 2 games of this series, 2 in the first period today, including that one by Brian Rafalski. Back to Jersey after a break.
Freedom to think for yourself.
To disagree with the government.
Freedom to be equal.
To be different.
Freedom to raise a family.
To marry the man I love.
The freedom to worship the God of my choice.
To live with dignity.
The freedom to be me.
To be whatever I want to be.
Defending freedom for over 200 years.
Every day, U.S. naval forces in Europe are on station. They support fleet operations out of Naples, Italy. They treat patients at the medical center in Sigonella, Sicily. They fly support missions out of Mildenhall, England. Wherever they are needed, the U.S. Navy is there. Since the world doesn't stand still, U.S. naval forces in Europe stand ready.
ESPN's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by Nextel, how business gets done. By Dodge, the official road team of the NHL. Grab life by the horns, Dodge. And by United Online, internet service for half the price of AOL. Call 1-877, only $9.95.
What a complete turnaround here in game number 3 of this Eastern Conference quarterfinal. Devils completely shut down in the first 2 games in Raleigh, scoring 2 total goals. Get things going here early, thanks to Brian Gianti.
Yes, they do, and this is a bad rebound by Artur Zerbe as he falls back onto his keister, and Brian Gianti jumps on the rebound. Then Brian Rafalski takes a shot there. You saw the kick save, but not a beauty by Aaron Ward as it deflects past Artur Zerbe. Not much chance on that one. And then after that, Dave, the Devils just tilted the ice towards the New Jersey Turnpike and let Artur Zerbe have an onslaught.
Shots were 11-3 in the opening 20. So now for the series, Kevin Constantine's team has outshot Carolina, plus 29 total in the 3 games. That's eventually going to come and really burn Paul Maurice and the Canes.
It certainly is. You've got to get stellar goaltending if you're going to allow yourself to be outshot. The Devils did it for years here at the Meadowlands. And, of course, they've had Martin Brodeur in net. A little bit different when you have someone other than that in the net. And we start off
Power play to begin the second period. Still more than a minute left in the roughing minor that Eric Cole, the rookie, took at the end of the first period. Devils converted one power play goal, and their chances in the opening 20 thanks to Rafalski's power. Janta's goal and even strength. Langenbrunner at center. Here's Elias. No bounce into the near corner. Bouncing puck. Langenbrunner sent it through to Nieuwendyk. Former teammates in Dallas who want to come together in '99 against Dominic Hasek in Buffalo. Try to work some magic in Jersey now. Aaron Moore trying to clear, and Sikora can't keep it in at the left point. All major stats going to Jersey in the first period. Gianta can't find the handle. That far wing. They out-hit Carolina 19-5. Outchanced them 8-1. Trying to keep it going. The foot on the accelerator pedal. Second period. Power play goal! New Jersey! Gianta was there. He may have gotten a piece of it on the holy blast.
Well, diminutive Brian Gianta is able to stand right in front of Arturs Irbe, and Malik can't move him away. Malik, who's got him by about 3 feet in height, can't move him out from the front of the net. They're able to distract Arturs Irbe, and when it's actually Big Malik that goes in front of Irbe that screens him. And the Devils take a 3-0 lead.
You know, Brian Gianta is listed at 5'7", 160 pounds. The rookie from Boston College, and now you got to wonder if you're Paul Maurice, will Kevin Weeks be ready? And he is, in fact, going to make his Carolina NHL playoff debut. The former Tampa Bay Lightning, who came in the late season trade involving Shane Willis and Chris Dingman. Out goes Irbe, who had been so brilliant. In comes Weeks. What does this do to Carolina?
Well, this tells Carolina that, boys, we're in trouble here. You better get your act together and get going. They're not necessarily throwing in the towel on game 3 here when you're only 58 seconds into the second period. But what you are saying is, I'm going to take drastic measures. I'm going to take out the star of the first 2 games and put in Kevin Weeks, and let's get it going now. So quite often the hook of a goaltender isn't because the goaltender has played poorly, although it may be seen that way by some observers, but sometimes it's just a coaching tactic to get his team fired up and show his team the seriousness of the situation. Now, obviously, you know the seriousness of a situation when you're down 3-0 in game 3 of the playoffs as we look at Kevin Weeks and his record. Weeks, who came over from Tampa Bay earlier in the season.
Brian Gianta gets credit for the goal for now. He handles along the right wing. 33 goals last year for Jerry York in Boston College to lead the Eagles in scoring and led the nation in goals scored in college hockey. Now he's getting it done at a big level. Niemeyer shot, and Weeks is tested early. The second power play goal by Jersey, and that is a terrible goal for Carolina. Big trouble from Marek Malik, who's got a huge height and weight advantage on Gianta. Hill getting the stick up high, and there may be another call. Whistle stops play. Sean Hill getting aggressive with Sergei Brelin, and Bill McCreary doesn't like it one bit. Another penalty is coming up here against Carolina.
And there you see the stats on Arturs Irbe, who had been absolutely brilliant in the first 2 games, but today has an off day. And again, it's not all because of him. You saw that he was screened definitively by his own defenseman. Now, this is a bad penalty. Watch this. You don't do this when you're down 3-0. Leave your feet and tell the world, I deserve a penalty. When you leave your feet in the NHL, you're going to get a penalty. He not only went up high on him, but he leaves his feet. Boom. Bad play, Sean, this early in the second period. You're being outshot 12-3, and now you're going to put your goaltender in a situation of not yet having a shot on him. His first shot on Kevin Weeks will now come on a power play. So right now, Dave, the Carolina Hurricanes are doing about everything wrong you can possibly do.
Rough start for the Canes after 2 brilliant performances down in Raleigh, North Carolina. So Nieuwendyk takes and wins the draw to Sikora. Rafalski's shot testing Weeks early, and he does make that save.
Kevin Weeks handles his first shot there with ease. It wasn't a tough one, but that's often good to get you into the game. Remember, when a goalie replaces his partner on the coach's call, he gets no warm-up shots, as we watch Rafalski come in with a snap shot, a clear shot that Weeks handles easily. A good pickup was Kevin Weeks by Jimmy Rutherford during the season, giving him the opportunity to move Barrasso over to Toronto.
Richer. Sikora tipped off the glass, far half boards. Elias trying to regain. Now Sikora out to Rafalski, and the power play looking confident here for Jersey. Why not? They've clicked twice already. Down low, Newendijk. Sharp angle, Richer right there. Sikora off the side of the net. Rebound loose in front. Elias man. What a stop by Weeks. Robbing Patrick Elias down low, keeping this a 3-0 game.
I'll tell you one thing. Kevin Weeks had lost the puck totally. He was more surprised than you can believe on a couple of these. And Giant, in fact, missed the whole side of the net. Watch as he doesn't know where it is here. And that shot there that you saw creep, look at that, off of him, back out in front and right at that big hurricane symbol on the front of the jersey. Watch it again. Comes out. Now Giant gets it here and shoots it. Misses the net. Now it's back out in front, and it looks like a fire drill going on in front of the Carolina goaltender. But nevertheless, he makes the saves and gets himself totally right into the game.
58 seconds of the second period. The power play tally for Jersey, making it 3-0. And for our viewers who are watching today in Raleigh, they've got to be thoroughly discouraged with what they've seen here in the early going. Plenty of time left. Newendijk wins another draw. Out to the point. Big blast. Sikora didn't get to the traffic. What a perfectly operated face-off play by Jersey. This is a different team we're seeing here, Neil, in the first 2 games of the series. No question. Elias down low. Cross-ice play. Rafalski jumping in. They score! Again! In the slot. Another power play goal. Rafalski in the middle of it.
Well, we said it when Sean Hill took that silly penalty that he took early in the period, that he was going to make his new goaltender have to face things without even a warm-up. And here Rafalski jumps on a puck in the slot, is able to chip it up over the arm of Kevin Weeks and down into the net for a 4-zip score. Right there, boom, over the crossbar, up high, where Mama keeps the cookies. 4-0 Devils.
Another power play goal for Jersey. Third of the game in the second tally of the day for Brian Rafalski, who had 1 goal, Neil, after the new year in the last 40 games of the regular season. He had been in an incredible goal-scoring slump. The last 26 games of the regular season, Rafalski did not score a goal for Jersey. And has he ever picked the right time when the Devils have needed it most to explode here in the playoffs, down by 2. Remember, he set a Jersey playoff record for most points by a defenseman in their Stanley Cup final run a year ago.
Well, there we look at the USA Olympian. And the turning point in this game, to me, Dave, is the 2 power plays by the Devils when it completely kicked the Carolina Hurricanes when they were down. The Devils took a 1-0 lead. Carolina takes a penalty after that. They make it 2-0, which squashes them. Then they make it 3-0. And right away, Sean Hill takes the penalty to allow the Devils to make it 4-0. It's going to be a miracle recovery by the Hurricanes here in the Meadowlands this afternoon to get that 3-0 lead in the series.
Jersey has been dominant in every category from the drop of the puck to this point. Wallin, some contact with Pandolfo. Madden centering try. Danico shot through traffic. Didn't get to Weeks. McKenzie forward trying to rub out Gilina along the near wall. Danico holds it in. Oh, you just get that feeling Carolina has derailed here. Fire drill's a good way to describe it for the Canes at the moment.
Well, with 3.5 minutes gone here in the second period, the shots are 18-3 for the Devils.
Danico gets there. Icing is the call, and the dominance continues.
We look at Kevin Weeks, the former Tampa Bay Lightning, New York Islander, Vancouver Canuck. Look at this. He's trying to see it. You see all the traffic. He's trying to find it. Where is it? Watch this. Now he sees it clearly. It goes around. It goes out in the slot here somewhere. He can't quite find it. This is a great angle, guys. And boom, right up into the corner. He couldn't find it. By the time he did find it, it was too late, and it found its way into the corner of the net.
Brett Hennigan being muscled by Holik. Windemore for Cole. Oh, Eric Cole in this line that had been so brilliant in the first 2 games of the series in Raleigh has been totally shut down. Neil scoring chances are 13-1 in favor of the Devils.
And it shows on the scoreboard 4-0, and shots are 18-3. I mean, we keep repeating these stats to you viewers out there because it's really unbelievable.
Well, from hockey to baseball we go. Sunday night here on ESPN, a battle for the Golden State bragging rights when David Justice, former of the Yanks and Indians, now with Oakland, hosts Troy Glass, Tim Salmon, and the Anaheim Angels. Sunday night baseball presented by Nextel, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Coverage starts with baseball tonight, presented by Pep Boys at 7 o'clock Eastern. For more, log on to ESPN.com.
Kevin Constantine, the head coach of the New Jersey Devils, loves his bubblegum behind the bench. I remember that when he was coaching San Jose and Pittsburgh all those years. It's mainly the thing you see on those shots of Kevin behind the bench. But I mentioned that he hadn't won a playoff game since May 11th, 1999. In fairness to Kevin, remember, he hadn't been in the league until this year after being let go by Pittsburgh. So it's not as if he'd been in the playoffs the last couple of years either.
There was 5 straight total losses between the 2 games here in Jersey against Carolina, the 3 straight to end that series in '99. Pittsburgh against the Maple Leafs. Toronto's march to the Eastern Conference Final. Malik trying to spin it out of his own zone. Out to the point. Rafalski is just crushed. Kevin Adams steamrolled Brian Rafalski and play is stopped at center ice.
There he is again. Brian Rafalski's got, as you said earlier, 2 goals tonight, and what a time to come up with his 2 goals in the first home playoff game of the season. 3 career 2-goal games. The last one, of course, October 17th against their hated rival, the New York Rangers. Brian Rafalski was on the Olympic team, as we mentioned earlier, and did a good job for the USA Olympic effort.
Up to 11 playoff goals in his career. That's that great performance Rafalski last year in the Devils' march to Game 7 against Raymond Bourque in Colorado. His puck is covered up by Kevin Weeks for a draw deep in his zone. Just about 5 minutes into the second period.
Brian Giunta is a very small but fearless player for the Devils, this young rookie is. As we take a look at Colin White, he's one of the muscle men on the Devils, but Giunta is almost fearless for his height and size to be going to the net as hard as he does. No wonder he's from upstate New York.
He's getting the better of his Central New York counterpart, Eric Cole, right now from Oswego. Niedermeyer right point. Sent around. Nieuwendyk lets it go through. Where Joe Nieuwendyk played his college hockey? Central New York. Cornell University. Nope. Capping it across the line. Francis, some speed and room. Colin White got a piece of the shot. O'Neill trying to cycle for the captain. And cap it in the near corner. Out for Hill, a one-timer. Deflected wide. Brodeur lost sight of it for a moment. Carolina trying to get something going. Richer went down. Wanted a penalty call on O'Neill. They won't get it from either referee here today. Hill through center. Looking for Wasacek. Swoboda regains near circle. Nice move. Then trying to go short side. And it was deflected away by Brodeur's goal stick at the last moment. Wheeling through the zone, intercepted by Nicholas Wallin. So the defensemen who had played so well in the first 2 games have unfortunately let down Paul Maurice here in Game 3. The second goal we thought was credited to Giunta right now being given to Holik. Centering try. Loose down. Pandolfo whacked at it. Lost sight of it at the last moment. He was there to the right of Kevin Weeks. Had a look, but couldn't get the stick to puck in time. So give the 3rd goal of the game to Holik for now. The official scoring change. Stevens, a lot of contact. He's hit by Cole in that far corner.
Well, the Carolina Hurricanes with 13:23 to go in the second period. If they've got any hope at all to make a stage a comeback here at the Meadowlands, have to get into the zone and get the next goal. And then they have to jump them. It's plain and simple. They got to get in and find a way to break Martin Brodeur.
Shot from Brindamore, tipped over the glass, out of play. Rafalski, who'd been in a goal-scoring swoon, has come alive at exactly the right time for the Devils. They lead by 4.
I helped murder families in Colombia.
It was just innocent fun.
I helped kidnap people's dads.
Hey, some harmless fun.
I helped kids learn how to kill.
I was just having some fun, you know.
I helped kill policemen.
I was just having fun.
I helped the bomber get a fake passport.
All the kids do it.
I helped kill a judge. I helped blow up buildings.
My life, my body.
It's not like I was hurting anybody else.
At the Europe Regional Medical Command, we have an absolute commitment to our patients, and that is to provide world-class health care. When you visit one of our hospitals or clinics, expect compassionate and competent care, and to be treated with dignity and respect. You deserve no less. The members of my command are proud of the privilege to serve you.
Driving in Europe is very different from driving in the United States. Speed limits are higher, and right-of-way laws are different. Even paying tolls is different. In Austria and Switzerland, you stop at the border and pay one price for using the country's highways. The toll collectors give you a sticker for their country, then off you go. The sticker is good for the rest of the year, so you don't have to stop in that country to pay tolls again. Get out and enjoy Europe, and don't forget your sticker.
Home ice has been very kind to Jersey here in Game 3 in this Eastern Conference quarterfinal. Falski with 2, Gianza with 1. Holik has a tally as well.
Interesting, Dave, that the Devils haven't been that good on home ice the last year in the playoffs. They are 10 and 11 going into the last 21 home games in the playoffs of the Meadowlands.
Big Jim McKenzie rush up the right wing. Riding along the ice now, it's Gianza and John Madden. Neil pointed out the Selke winner last year, best defensive forward in the NHL for the former Michigan Star. McKenzie grinds with Gianza. It's pushed aside. We're going to have to watch 14 White in Game 4, that's for sure. He's been a force in this one today. Glenn Wesley and Madden regains for Jersey. Sharp angle try, and Weeks shuts it down for a draw in his zone. Well, we talked about the scoreboard being dominated by Jersey. How about the numbers all the way through, Neil?
All the way through, the shots, the scoring chances, which is the big indicator. But even on faceoffs, and the Carolina Hurricanes have historically been a great team in the playoff faceoffs. They're 56.1%, number 1 in the NHL in the playoffs. But not today, as the Devils have come out with fire in the belly. And what better thing for the Devils than to have fire in the belly?
Elias takes the draw. Devils need that. They got plenty of it. He has 3 assists already in this game. 3 helpers for 26 in White. Has he come alive? Giving 4 points now in the series. And one of the 2 goals scored in Jersey, by Jersey in Carolina. Now Elias with Christian Berglund and Sikora start the rush up ice again. Berglund across the line, some room. Big shot. Weeks has got it. And again, the draw deep in the Kane zone.
Well, Patrick Elias, as we said earlier, has not had the greatest season this year as he's had, but he's had a lot of 3-point games. And again, the last one versus their hated rival across the river, the New York Rangers.
Holik has a goal and an assist. Rafalski 2 goals. Gianza tallying. Sikora and Nieuwendyk have helpers as well. So plenty of offensive firepower coming in after the first 2 games. 4 total players had 1 point each in the first 2 games down in Carolina. What a turnaround.
It certainly it really is an amazing turnaround. Shots 9-2 here in the second period.
And 20-5 for the game. 5 shots. Daniels trying to find the handle. Pinching in was Abilene, lost it though. McDonald trying to get something going here for Carolina. Tommy Abilene across the line. And a stick stop made by Weeks. Deflected over the glass, out of play. Another face-off coming in the Carolina zone. And if you're thinking about Carolina's cause, face-offs have not been the answer. They had dominated so much in the first two games, but you see Abilene in his numbers. Real turnaround from that stat as well. You can't win the draw. You can't win a game.
You've got to win. Draws are so important in both zones. You want to control the puck in your own zone, and you want to control the puck in the offensive zone. Tommy Abilene, by the way, it's his second turn of duty for the New Jersey Devils. And Bobby Holik, let's see how he can do on this face-off versus Jeff O'Neill.
One back to White. Niedermeyer's shot deflected away. Holik bidding for a second. In the near corner, works off those half boards. Kapanen shovels out the center for the captain, Francis. Wesley joining the rush. And Ron Francis following up. Just no offensive pressure. Plain and simple on Brodeur. Wesley, Breland got in his way. Kapanen trying to rip it back into the offensive zone. It's reflected over the glass, out of play.
Well, we said at the beginning of the game what the two teams had to do. The one thing that the Devils had to do is get out there and hit and score early and get this crowd behind them and get their confidence up. They've done that. We said the one thing that the Carolina Hurricanes didn't want to do was lose their confidence. And, man, sitting in this building, they're whimpering out of this game, and you still got 11 minutes to go in the second period, and you're seeing nothing coming out of the Hurricanes. They've changed goaltenders. You see no emotion on that bench. I mean, they've got to get it up and get it going. Even on the hits, they're being out-smacked around here this afternoon by the Devils. So they can't wait until the end of this game to regroup. Dave, they got to start to regroup right now and send some messages. They want to make this a long series. They got to start telling the Devils, you might be winning this game and you might end up winning, but we're going to take our pound of flesh.
Shot from Wesley is deflected right on net, and Brodeur is there with a quick glove again.
Take a look at from the camera angle, behind the Brodeur angle, and Marty Brodeur, a huge asset to the Devils in the way that he handles the puck. We said it earlier, he's second among active goaltenders with 101 consecutive playoff starts. I was there for his first ever playoff game.
You were?
Yes, it was in Madison Square Garden versus, of course, the New York Rangers. And he was a rookie, didn't wear number 30 back then. I believe he wore number 1, although I might be mistaken, and it was in 1992.
Nieuwendyk wins another faceoff, back to Niedermeyer. O'Neill trying to shove it ahead. Kapanen scampering out. A lot of contact in the corner. Kapanen may go. He and Nieuwendyk came together. I think Sammy, out of frustration, is going to go on the holding call, says Bill McCreary. It has just been a dreadful day for the Southeast Division champs. Let's listen to Bill's call.
24 Carolina, 2 minutes for holding.
Well, he could have called that anything he wanted. He called it holding. He could have called it. I mean, Sammy was looking for a turnbuckle to throw Nieuwendyk into here. Watch this. Sammy says, you like WWF? I do. Watch this. Boom. Then he goes, I watch it in Finland. But anyway, it's another bad penalty. Oh. They call him Sammy Kapanen the Killer back in Finland in the WWF circuit there. But anyway, the Hurricanes have got to stop this. They've got to regroup. They've got to get their game back in order. This could be 5-0 by the end of this 2-minute power play for the Devils, the way things are going.
Already 3 for 5 with 8 shots in the power play. 2 Rafalski goals for man advantage. The other to Holik to begin this second period. Eliash and Ward coming together behind the net. Sikora trying to find the handle. Left point. Ward clears off to the wall far side. And it's taken back by Hennigan. Had man feed on the move with Taglier. We have not mentioned base with Taglier at all today. Remember, he won game 2 of that incredible deflection where he whacked it off the ice. And it bounced over the left shoulder of Martin Brodeur for the game winner. Seems like a long time ago if you're a Carolina fan right now. Great pass. Brodeur to Sikora starts the rush for Breland. Here's Holik bidding for another quick shot and stick aside. Into the near boards by Weeks. One-timer, Sikora drive. And a blocker stop. Rebound came to Holik. Thought about pulling the trigger. Instead, he'll reload on the far side. Sikora out there at the point as well. Nice play by Hennigan. Tipped it towards Adams trying to sweep it loose. Lunging effort by Ward trying to clear. Breland gets whacked from behind by Ward. Little shot to the head. Here's Adams short-handed. Around the point, easy stop by Brodeur. Saw it all the way. Adams and Rafalski come together. Power play time under 40 seconds for Jersey and a complete dominance of Carolina.
With only less than half a minute to go now in this power play.
Jim McKenzie getting some power play time here. Breland outside the left circle, and a huge Devil lead so far. Rafalski, Meyer shot through traffic. Rebound loose. It was McKenzie. Down low along with Holik with a bid. And it's steered aside by Kevin Weeks.
Well, this penalty coming to an end now, Dave, and as I said before, Carolina's really going to have to regroup.
Shot from Breland is stopped by Kevin Weeks. 8:39 left in what has been a devil day for the Meadowlands. 4-0 over the Kings.
What a great job you're doing. But I think it would be better if we use this gardening spade instead of Mom's good serving spoon.
Okay, Dad.
As parents, we can learn to show love, support, guidance, and discipline without anger. When we nurture our children, the positive self-esteem they develop helps them grow into secure and healthy adults.
Look! You gave it your love and see how it's growing?
Isn't it beautiful, Daddy?
Yes, it is.
Get your copy of Maximum Motors. It's the only publication dedicated solely to keeping customers tuned up about new and used vehicles in Yukon. Find out information about everything from hot rods to hoopties. Maximum Motors features in-depth information on purchasing and maintaining cars and motorcycles, including car reviews, dealer and service directories, used car and motorcycle listings, and more. Maximum Motors is available every other Friday as an insert in Stars and Stripes. Maximize your horsepower with Maximum Motors.
No other Army career offers so many opportunities to live and work in as many different countries as a defense attaché. This challenging career field is looking for highly qualified NCOs. Call DSN 312-622-3901 to discuss prerequisites and application procedures. Travel the world as a soldier diplomat. Find out what it takes to be a defense attaché. Call DSN 312-622-3901.
Delay in the action on the ice. Kevin Weeks, the replacement for starter Artur Zerbe, getting the equipment looked at, his helmet. In his 112th career playoff game, Martin Brodeur is bidding for his 13th career shutout, and those incredible numbers he has put together put him in some pretty elite company. What a career he's had, in addition to winning another huge honor for Team Canada, the gold medal in Salt Lake.
He's just been incredible. The gold medal probably caps off everything. And take a look at that stat there. That's all-time best GAA, 1.90. Leads such greats as Hainsworth, the George Vezina, the person that the trophy was named after. And looks like Kevin Weeks is done using that screwdriver over at the bench to fix his helmet. Of course, we all know why the screwdriver was invented.
I knew this was coming. Go ahead, finish it.
Although it has a lot of household uses today, it was actually invented for knights to fasten their armor on with.
Part of the playoffs, folks, is you've got to spend a lot of time with a certain analyst, your partner. And every day on Neil Smith's cell phone, a new message comes over about some sort of factoid like that. I call it the useless piece of information of the day, and now you've heard it for yourselves.
Don't forget the Red Baron.
O'Neill near corner trying to get something going here for a struggling Carolina team. Berglund at the red line. Here's Matt. Nice work offensively. Sent right on, and Weeks got a piece of it. Collected near corner. Berglund working hard despite the 4-0 lead. O'Neill for Waleed. He'll chip into the offensive zone. Niedermeyer for Berglund. Madden on the rush with Pandolfo as well. Jake Pandolfo across the line. He's shipped up, and he will head off on a change. Heading in for O'Neill. Tries the headman pass too far. O'Neill's off the change as well. Wasacek trying to hit Stevens. Jelinov's spun off the play at the blue line by Gianta. Tangela busting in, right wing, and a pass stop. Brodeur reeling as he's sent back into his crease. He recovers. Swoboda trying to get to it, and cleared away by Reshaven out of his zone. Jaroslav Swoboda lost the handle at the right point. Gianta will bank it off the wall and in again for New Jersey. Swoboda for Wasacek. And Gianta takes him on.
This guy was a great addition today by Kevin Constantine, putting him back in the lineup. I mean, you notice him every shift he's out there. And of course, we have to hear about him all the time because he's from upstate New York.
Exactly. Can't let that go. Elias Sakura across the line. Peter takes his time, but deflected by Wesley high into the stands, about 25 rows up. The quest for the Cup continues on ESPN2 tonight. A doubleheader coming your way, and they are huge games. Chicago finally gets to host a playoff game again. It's been a while since the Hawks have been in the postseason dance. Blues Blackhawks, 7 o'clock Eastern time, and the Wings are in some trouble. Down 2-0 to Vancouver, a confident, feisty bunch, Neil, that you and I saw 2 nights back. Can the Wings come back in that series in your mind?
Well, I don't know, not the way they're playing right now. And if Dominic Hasek doesn't get his act in gear, then certainly they're not going anywhere, because they've any team that has to go anywhere in the playoffs needs great goaltending, and they're certainly not getting that right now out of the Dominator.
Arm up in the air here. Delay call. Neither goalie has hustled off the ice. It is going to be against Jersey, as Weeks finally realizes. And Carolina will have a power play when the Devils touch up. Swings out the center. Extra attacker on the ice for now. They call. Here's Wesley. Taglia for Hill.
Well, Carolina right now just trying to get something organized here. They've got 6 men on the ice. Remember, as soon as they, right there, the Devils take control, the whistle's blown. And it's a high sticking call against the Devils. And the perpetrator
Number 28, New Jersey, 2 minutes for high sticking.
High sticking on Brian Rafalski. We've mentioned him a lot today. He's done just about everything. 2 goals, now a penalty. As we see Kevin Constantine and his chewing gum.
Twice in the 8th series, Kevin Constantine has coached in the past with Pittsburgh, San Jose, and now New Jersey. He's lost the first 2 games. 95 as Sharks coach. They lost the first 2 to Detroit. Wings went on to sweep that series. It appears Jersey has done much better in crawling out of the 0-2 hole this time for Kevin Constantine. Jersey went on to eventually play Detroit that year in 95. Swept them out for a Stanley Cup. Succeeding your Rangers as champions.
Yes, in the lockout shortened season.
That's right, 94. That's your championship, 94-95 is shortened. O'Neill, far corner. Plays out for Kapanen at one point. Sean Hill is at the other. Here's Swoboda, the rookie, getting some power play time. Kapanen, O'Neill, one-time blast. That one high, and they got a piece of it.
Looked like it hit him in the mask.
To the end boards. And Madden, great PK specialist. Again, he and Pandolfo up front on the penalty kill, and he sends it right into his own bench. And that will stop play with 5:13 to go in the middle period. Over a minute left, power play time.
That did hit Brodeur in the mask and in the helmet. You see him take his cage off there, and he's taking a look at it. And the referee's skating down to make sure he's okay. Take a look at it again. You'll see it. Bing, right off the melon. But that's why you wear a mask. Right there. Zing. Goes off the side of that. And don't think that doesn't hurt. You feel that right through your mask. All you've got on the inside of that fiberglass is a bit of foam that's glued to that. But the entire mask is made to take the absorption of that so that it is spread out around your cranium rather than it hitting one spot and damaging you. So that's how those are made. And they're the mask of choice now in the NHL. You don't see too many goalies now like Urbe that wear the helmet and the cage in the front. Those are basically a thing of the past. There's a few of them. Osgood with the Islanders. We said Urbe. course, the most famous of all being Dominic Hasek still wears that type of mask.
We'll see him on ESPN2 head-to-head with Vancouver. Can the Wings rebound? Their charter flight after losing Game 2 must have been eerily silent for the first couple of hours. Everyone getting some shut-eye and trying to just regroup.
Well, Scotty would have had some choice things to say, I'm sure, after that game in Game 2.
Malik at the point, sends it right on, rebound loose. Battaglia looking for a second in 2 games, but first is cleared by Jersey. That's number 20 that power play time. Falsky in. Minimore lost the handle. Battaglia onside. Here's Circle. Spins away from trouble. Brett Hennigan passes the shot instead. Ward. And it's tipped again. Well into the seats. 1 shot so far on net in the power play for Carolina.
Well, there's, as we take a look at Colin White, one of the big, tough defensemen for the New Jersey Devils, the Devils have just played defensively have just played a magnificent game. 13-6 the shots in this period. They've only allowed 9 Carolina shots so far. Take a look at Ronnie Francis, cut right in front of Martin Brodeur and try to deflect that shot. And Battaglia goes hard to the net to try to push Colin White into Brodeur. They're trying everything now to try to just do something to get a little bit of momentum going for the Hurricanes.
84 career playoff assists for Ron Francis. His brilliant career. Trying to win another cup, this time for Raleigh, North Carolina. New Jersey has other ideas in Game 3. Rafalski out of the box with full strength. Offensive zone. Some speed. Holik. Wesley helped pin him into the corner boards. And Cole trying to clear the zone, cannot. Berglund to intercept some time in his shot. Was blocked in the last second. Hit him hard, sending him down to the ice. Danico for Holik, stays on side. Takes the hit from Ward. Ian Stevens tangle a bit. Holik shot glove down by Kevin Weeks. Timeout here in Jersey. Bobby Holik and the Devils in great shape, trying to make this a 2-1 series. Carolina.
You have to fight for her.
You don't know what it's like, but you try and you try and you try and you don't ever get there.
I can go at least another 9 rounds, but you gotta let me in.
You think what they think. Sam can't take care of Lucy.
It doesn't matter what I think. It matters that we win.
It matters to me.
Isn't it true that you know you need much more than your daddy can give you?
All you need is love.
What makes you think you can raise a 7-year-old?
Every parent has those moments.
A 10-year-old?
Moments where the task is so unbelievably challenging.
A 13-year-old?
That you feel retarded.
She'll be 6 years more advanced than you.
I wouldn't want any daddy but you. Did you hear that? Why don't you write that down?
It's about patience.
I worry that I've gotten more out of this than you.
And it's about listening.
Daddy? I'm here!
And it's about love.
I am Sam. Time to move on? Then get moving. It's about experience. Get it. It's about contribution. Make it. It's about satisfaction. Find it. Air Force Reserve. Above and beyond.
1-800-257-1212.
And there you heard it. That was the smashing sound of a rubber disc going off Martin Brodeur's face mask and then hitting the plexiglass. And that's why you wear a mask. Hit the devil tail right off to the left there.
He and the Devils unscathed so far, though. Great shape in Game 3. Kevin Adams trying to spin around the boards. Hill looking to clear. McDonald on that far wing. And Daniels chips in. Adams falls up. For a circle, shot comes through, nobody home for a tip-in shot. McDonald some contact, trying to get free. Here's Adams. Kevin Adams to the front of the net, rebound loose. McDonald set wide. Eventually comes out to the point. Morndike and Giunta some speed. Richer calls for a change. Giunta bust in on that wing. He scores!
What a goal!
Hit by a high stick is the question. Ryan Giunta knocked it in midair. Was it hit by a high stick?
Well, this stick is going to have to be above the crossbar, and I'm not sure that Brian Giunta can reach up that high. So I'm predicting that this thing is good, because they will look at this upstairs review to see if Giunta's stick was actually above the height of the crossbar, not the shoulders, but the crossbar. And if in fact it was, it'll be no goal. You make the call here. A great backhander. Kevin Weeks loses it. Now, I don't think that that's above the crossbar.
For good measure, Weeks got hit in the helmet, too, with a stick.
Watch this. A good backhander. It's up in the air. Giunta reaches in. Oh, by the time he touched it, I don't think it was above.
It's close, Neil.
It is close, Dave. But watch the young man reach in. Oh, maybe it was above. Maybe it was above. But let's take a look at it from the eye of our Southwest Airlines goal cam. And that eye says no. But we'll see. There's the replay booth high above the ice here at the Meadowlands, up in what they call the halo.
Tom Steinle is the video goal judge. Giunta almost had really 3 in this game, but almost a deflection goal too. I'd be happy too. Yeah, that's really tight. If we can look at that angle again, guys, in the truck. That last angle slowed down. I think will give us a good look as Dan Maruelli.
It looks like Maruelli is explaining why it is not a goal.
No goal.
Oh,
there you have it.
Well, just as I thought it was too high the whole time. But no, Brian Giunta.
There it is. Yep. Great look, guys.
From there, though, from that angle, it almost looks okay. But obviously, they have a more definitive view of these things. And Giunta just having a great time here as a rookie in this game. Already got 1 goal this afternoon.
Was involved in the traffic in front of then goaltender Artur Zerbe on the Holik goal to begin the second period. And then just about broke the backs of Carolina. Look at the shots on goal. 26-9 with really no end in sight.
And including 15-6 in this period. And even if you say that those are a little bit fudged by the hometown shot keepers, it's still a dramatic edge. 3 goals on 12 shots. Not a good day. Not a good day at the office for Artur Zerbe.
Hennigan sends in. Held up by Brodeur. Not, as we've seen, been tested much. Really no electrifying saves at all in Game 3. Ward trying to make his presence felt against Berglund. And Francis has to reload at center ice. Is that the goal now, Neil, in Carolina, to try to set a tone a bit for next game? Outside, here comes Francis, though, trying to break the shutout, and it's stopped by Brodeur. There's the best save we've seen today from Martin Brodeur. Francis slams the stick down to the ice in frustration. Elias rush the other way, has Berglund in front, trying to center. Ward clears, not out, though. Niedermeyer holds it in. At the right point. Centering try Berglund. In the slot, lost the handle, and O'Neill springs out.
Well, as you were saying, Dave, the thing that the Carolina Hurricanes have to do now for this last minute and 50 seconds and in the third period, send a message to the Devils that you may have won this game, but you're not going to win the series.
Players whistle down at center ice. Just over 1:40 left in this second period, and Ron Francis with what looked like the best bid of the day for Carolina moments ago.
Got a good chance as we take a look at it from our camera high above here at the Meadowlands. Watch how this develops. 2 good passes set Ronnie Francis in. Ron Francis, who's not a gazelle on skates, but still is smart enough to be able to position himself to get those opportunities, was thwarted by Martin Brodeur.
A man with 21 in a row. 21 years of 50-plus points for Ron Francis. What a career.
Of course, originally drafted by the Hartford Whalers.
Call him Ronnie Franchise in Connecticut, didn't they?
They certainly did. His first number that he wore for the Whalers was, do you know what that was? Number 4. Then he switched to 10 later on, and of course had that great run in Pittsburgh during their heyday.
Lots of the contact with Tagliafico, Cole and Brindamore working, trying to send that message we talked about. And play got physical in the near corner, under a minute to go. Madden trying to get there. Malik at the last second. Nice coach check. And McKenzie in front. Trouble. Malik again. Look at McKenzie just taken away from him. Malik one hand. Malik, centering try, and a goal stick play by Weeks with Giunta in front. They gave Giunta a lot more ice time here. He played a great game. Really. Giunta there on his knee, trying to get to it. Rebound loose, and finally, play is stopped as Brindamore slams Giunta face first into the mesh of the net. And that will stop play. 29.5 to go second period.
This Brian Giunta has been an annoying little pest to these Hurricanes today. I mean, now he's got Brindamore upset. Brindamore had lost his glove thanks to Giunta. Giunta just yanked the mitten right off his hand. And look at him trying to poke it under Weeks. He says, Brindamore says, would you stop already? And the veteran Brindamore, who's been through a lot of big battles in his day, a lot bigger battles than with Brian Giunta, but Giunta has made his presence felt every shift like an annoying bumblebee in your house.
Just won't leave, really.
Just can't swat him. You're trying to find him.
He's been brilliant, no question. Here's Holik to take another draw, and that has been a big part of the statistical story of Game 3. 1 face-offs by Jersey. Carolina had dominated that category in the first couple of games.
And an argument ensues here between the linesman and the Mr. Velishchuk as he's thrown out of the face-off circle.
Zelina takes the draw instead. Always some very hard work. Berglund shot is gloved down by Weeks. Some more contact in front. Wallin and Holik exchange unpleasantries outside the Carolina net.
Well, this is a good opportunity for Carolina to throw some weight around. If you have to get into a fight, whatever you have to do. Let's face it, there's little chance of you coming back from a 4-0 deficit in the third period. So do something to upset the Devils, take away their confidence, or to break them somehow. Because right now they are up and on a roll. And I hate to say it, but in some ways the Hurricanes have actually put them on that roll by taking bad penalties leading to power play goals.
Holik and Wasicek again to take the draw. To the right of Kevin Weeks. Just joining us, it's been a dominant Devil day all the way through. That play whistled down offside at the blue line. Artur Zerbe, brilliant in the first 2 games of the series, allowing a bad goal early, couldn't control a rebound. And Brian Giunta got one going. Since then, it's been even more trouble. Yanked to the beginning of the second period. It has not improved for Urbe's Canes one bit since then.
There's Martin Jelena, the man who was in the biggest trade in the history of hockey. Wayne Gretzky. The original trade from Edmonton to the LA Kings. Jelena was only a rookie when he and Jimmy Carson went to the Edmonton Oilers in the famous trade for Wayne Gretzky.
And on the Stanley Cup winning team in '90 with the Oilers was Martin Jelena. Post-concussion syndrome after being hit earlier in the year. You saw the special helmet with the extra padding that Jelena is wearing. And Brian Giunta, as there is a call at the very end of the period, slashing call. We'll work it out when we return. The story of this game has been physical. Jersey and dominance over Carolina. 4-0 after
2. This is a wetland. Wetlands purify drinking water for much of our nation, as well as filter chemicals and pollutants from our water system. Wetlands also control flooding from storms and hurricanes. And why are we doing this?
If someone wrote a book about your life, would anyone want to read it? Navy, accelerate your life.
name is Lieutenant Keith Hoskins. I'm the narrator for the Blue Angels. You wouldn't think that this airplane and my car would have much in common, but the most important piece of equipment in this airplane is the most important piece of equipment in this car. My safety belt. Buckle up. It's not just the law. It's good sense.
Unless you were fitted, and now you're here and you don't.
Before age 2, you gave them life. Protect it.
Here's what's coming up on AFN Sports. AFN Sports, your 24/7 sports channel.
It is all New Jersey Devils looking to pull within 2-1 in the Eastern quarterfinals, up 4-0 on the Hurricanes after 2. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Sports Center In Game. I'm Dave Revson with you. The big news today coming out of the NFL, it's not draft related, although it is related to next year's draft. The Buffalo Bills giving up their first pick in 2003 in exchange for Drew Bledsoe, going to the Bills from the Patriots. John Clayton tells us the trade will be announced officially once Bledsoe talks to Pats owner Robert Kraft, but they have agreed to the deal. Bledsoe, of course, made expendable due to the ascent of Tom Brady, who led the Pats to the Super Bowl. Well, Allen Iverson returning to the Sixers lineup for the first time in a month for their opener with Boston. Celtics coach Jim O'Brien said he was going to play Iverson with the Mirage and 5 defense. Put 5 guys on Iverson, Mirage the rest of the guys defensively, and it ended up working out fairly well, actually, for O'Brien's Celtics. First quarter, Iverson off to a good start. 15 points in the first, but ended up with just 20 in the game. Time winding down in the first quarter. It's Walter McCarty, nearly from half court, and he hits it. Celtics by 3 after 1 by 6 at the break. Then third quarter, Paul Pierce for 3 puts them up by 9. Later in the third, Celts rolling. McCarty, the tip jam, 70-57 Boston. To the fourth now, Rodney Rogers dishes to McCarty, nice up and under, hooping the foul, 14 for him. Then the Celtics put it away. Pierce draining the 3, 31 for him. Iverson bombing as the Celtics take the opener of the series, 92-82. Iverson does finish with those 20 points, as we told you, had been out since March the 22nd due to a broken hand. The league's leading scorer at over 31 points per game, and only gets 20 in this one. Antoine Walker added 20 for the Celtics. One other game to tell you about, it's the Mavericks and the Timberwolves. Pretty good ball game. T-Wolves up 73-70 in game 1 of this 4-5 matchup they are playing in Dallas. Timberwolves, as you can see, have never won the first game of a playoff series. Of course, have never won a playoff series either, but they are leading in this one. One quick baseball injury note. Andy Pettitte, who has been battling elbow problems, felt a bit of a twinge as he was practicing yesterday, and the Yankees said that's enough. They're going to put him on the 15-day disabled list. He'll be eligible to come off that DL on May the 1st. Meanwhile, the Yankees going with a fairly capable arm in the Bronx against the Blue Jays. Roger Clemens on the hill for him. We'll get to him in a moment, but in the bottom of the first, it's Alfonso Soriano. Second leadoff homer in 5 days. Fourth homer of the year makes it 1-0 Yanks. 3-0 in the third. Raul Mondesi up there facing Clemens, and the Rocket gets him. Still 3-0 in favor of the Yanks. Now 6-2, 8th inning. Jason Giambi had been booed after fouling out last time up there. Not booing now. Giambi deep and gone. 7-2 in favor of the Yankees, and New York goes on to win it by the final of 9-2. Soriano 3 for 5 in the game. Clemens went 7 1/3 for the Yanks, giving up 2 runs. As you can see, the Red Sox pound the Royals 12-2. Their 1 through 5 hitters went 12 for 23, scored 10 runs, and drove in 10 as well. And Indians and the Twins. The Twins 8-1. They finish off their homestand as they beat the Indians 4-2. The Tribe 0-6 on their road trip. Remember, they had that long winning streak, went into Chicago, got hammered, and then got swept as well by the Twins. Let's transition now, go to the National League. Marlins taking on the Braves in bottom of the first. Rafael for call. This would be a theme in this game, facing Kevin Olson. First batter of the game, and for call. Yeah, you want to talk great speed. He was really hauling there. He would later score after the triple. Braves up 1-0. Bottom of the third, it is deja vu all over again. Second triple of the day. And later scoring a sac fly puts the Braves on top 3-0. Now bottom of the seventh, going for three, and for call gets three over Preston Wilson's head. First Brave in 46 years to hit 3 triples in a game. First major leaguer to do it since the White Sox Lance Johnson in 1995. As the Braves win the game by the final of 4-2, they sweep the series. They have now won 4 straight. Expos 6-3 over the Mets. It is now the Expos all alone in first place in the NL East as they take 3 of 4 in that series. Reds and the Cubs. It's the Reds on top 5-2 in this one at Wrigley. Jose Rijo making his first start since 1995. Remember, he's had all those elbow problems. July 18th, 1995, last time he started. Looked very good. Gave up just 3 hits, walked 1, struck out 1 in 5 innings pitched. Had him done a 2-run triple in the first, and the Reds have not looked back. Sunday Night Baseball this evening, A's and Angels. A's looking to make it 3 of 4 in this series. That game comes your way at 8 o'clock Eastern time, following baseball tonight, which gets underway at 7 o'clock Eastern. We're coming back with more. Stay tuned.
Why should you consider getting an education in the Navy? This is one of your classrooms. Navy, accelerate your life.
By keeping my car regularly tuned, I save money on gas and repairs. That also means cleaner air. You know, feels good to help save the cash, planet.
The environment. Get green. For more tips, go to getgreen.com.
I have a vision to create an educational system which is second to none. Achieving that vision requires an action plan. The Community Strategic Plan is just that. It details 4 goals: high student achievement, performance-driven management, motivated and diverse workforce, and partnerships promoting achievement. Call your school if you'd like to join us in making that vision a reality. We welcome your interest and involvement.
For an emergency in Germany, call 110.
It's the show that goes where you go. Join us for Destinations as we look at the people, places, and things making life in Europe interesting. Hang out with us. Make your destination AFN Atlantic every Thursday evening at 6:30 Central European Time.
Gordon, retired NASA astronaut and Navy captain.
On every mission I worked on, there was an intense amount of preparation. And the same held true for my military retirement. I had to do a lot of research. It takes time to get your paperwork together. Today, you have the transition office, and visiting them at least a year before your retirement date is not too soon. It may seem like a lot of time, but important missions in life are well worth it.
Dave Revson, Devils leading the Hurricanes 4-0 after 2. Some more hockey action coming your way later tonight. Red Wings and the Canucks. The Red Wings, of course, won the President's Trophy. They are the first team that won the President's Trophy with the most points in the regular season to lose their first 2 playoff games in 50 years. Canucks up 2-0 on the Wings. Vancouver looking to go up 3-0 in a playoff series for the first time ever. You can catch the game 10 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN2. Elsewhere tonight, Hawks and Blues, 7 Eastern on ESPN2. It will precede that Red Wings game series tied at a game apiece. First postseason home game for the Hawks since 1997. Great home team, just 7 regulation losses at the United Center this season. Also tonight, Montreal and Boston. Talk about Detroit, top seed in the West, having problems. Boston, of course, the East top seed, also in a bit of a hole, down 1-0. Complete highlights, all the analysis you need of those games. NHL tonight, 1 o'clock Eastern time. on ESPN2. You will not want to miss that. Stay tuned. Third period coming up. A little more from us as well. Stay tuned.
Before you ever give or accept a gift, make certain it fits the rules, or you may have to rule it out. Whether it's from a dignitary in another country, or a prize in a vendor's contest, or a birthday present from an outside contractor. Some things are okay, and some things aren't. Gifts for superiors are from them. Gold and silver, even food. Call the legal office to see if your gift is appropriate. Whenever you're in doubt, check it out.
USO Paris meets all your tourism needs while visiting the City of Lights. Our friendly bilingual staff can help you with all of your travel plans. We now offer hotel reservations online. To book a room or to get more details on Paris, simply log on to our website.
Working together is the only way for U.S. Army Europe and its allies to get the job done. That's why USARA and NATO formed the Project Partnership Program. This prestigious award is designed to recognize soldiers, civilians, and units that helped bring the U.S. and its allies closer together. Applications are due no later than April 30th. The Project Partnership Program, recognizing personal and professional contact between U.S. and allied soldiers.
Become a coach with Child Youth Services and enroll your child in any CYS sport for free. Your second child can enroll for half price. Contact your CYS center for more information.
In 1801, Alexander Henry, a Northwest Company fur trader, built a post at Pembina in present-day North Dakota, creating the first European settlement in the area. Pembina is an Ojibwe Indian name for the high bush cranberry, and for more than 100 years, the region was known as Pembina Country. After the United States gained the northern plains with the Louisiana Purchase, the resulting territory was named Dakota. The word means friendly people in the Dakota language. People became so attached to the name that when the territory was being split into two states, neither state would give it up. Some Southerners wanted the North to readopt the name Pembina, but the Northerners resisted. A compromise was finally reached, and in 1889, the name North Dakota was accepted. North Dakota, land of friendly people.
Don't forget, immediately following the game, it is Sports Center. Brian Kenny and Reese Davis. They'll wrap up the NFL draft. Also tell you more about the Drew Bledsoe deal, which is now official. So it's Drew Bledsoe to the Bills for a first-round pick in 2003. Check in on the NBA playoffs, see how that Mavericks game comes out, and they'll see if the NHL Shockers continue. So they're all following the Hurricanes and the Devils. And so far, it's been all Devils in this one. Brian Rafalski, a pair of goals. Devils offense has woken up. They're up 4-0 after 2.
Give me my soda. Hey, you got your money, now give me my soda. Hey, come on, give it up. Give it up. Come get my soda if I can shake it out of you.
You need parts. You need food. You need fuel. You just need supplies. We are the team that responds to your needs. We're the Defense Logistics Agency Contingency Support Team, DCST. And no matter where you are, we're there with you. In peace and in war, during exercises or operations, we supply you. DCST, we're part of the Defense Logistics Agency, your combat support team. DLA delivers.
Fifth Corps.
Inside by a 3-story building engaging. This is 11th Aviation. Reach Lima Charlie. Strike deep.
Final Jeopardy category for today is U.S. military. And the Final Jeopardy answer is the best way to share good news with family and friends back home. The correct question, of course, is what is the Army and Air Force hometown news? Whenever something good happens, like getting a promotion or being named Soldier or Airman of the Quarter, you should be sure to stop by the Public Affairs Office and fill out a hometown news release form. Why? Because your hometown cares.
Time to roll, baby, time to roll.
Trouble! No! Fist out, fist out! 3 down single now. Trailer, trailer!
ESPN's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs is brought to you by Quality Care Auto Service at Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury dealerships. By Visa, preferred card of the USA hockey team. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. And by Bud Light, the proud supporter of the NHL.
3 different goal scorers, 4 goals, and the final tally, all New Jersey after 2. Welcome back, everyone, to the Meadowlands. Dave Ryan again with Neil Smith. Neil, this is the official stat sheet, and every single number thoroughly dominated by the Devils through 40.
Well, the Devils have just taken this game over, exactly doing what they had to do. They scored early on the power play, and they've totally taken this game completely away from Carolina.
Big trouble for Carolina. Got going really in the first period when Artur Zerbe struggled in net, and since then they have not been able to rebound.
Well, we take a look at what went on in the first period. Here you go. It all started by Bobby Holik. There's his shot. It found its way through past Artur Zerbe. Later on, there was another chance, a chip over Kevin Weeks after he had replaced Artur Zerbe earlier. Right there, you see him replacing Zerbe. And the Devils holding every single category, and that man there serving a slashing penalty. He's got 2 goals already. The second one was a chip.
Rafalski and Sean Hill came together at the very end of the second period. And what you'll see eventually at the top of your screen is the retaliation, boom, from Brian Rafalski, and he takes the slashing minor at the very end of the second. So power play time for Carolina. And as Neil and I have discussed, perhaps some time now for the Hurricanes to build a little bit of momentum, set a tone for game number 4 here in New Jersey coming up. Power play stats dismal, as are all the numbers for the Canes through 40 minutes. Can they turn it around a bit here? Kapanen for O'Neill. Power play time to begin the third. Jeff O'Neill, Sammy Kapanen. Return pass from Hill. Francis is set up. And Swoboda is the man down low. Now O'Neill cruising through the net. Francis shot. Blocked away by Stevens. Loose. Swoboda tipped away. Francis trying to get there last second. Stevens beat him to the puck. Swoboda for Kapanen. Off for Hill sometimes. Sammy Kapanen at the point winds up. They have broken his stick. He did. Shattered in 2. Needs some new lumber. And Alpho gets there, and Stevens sends down ice unclear.
Well, the name of this period for the Carolina Hurricanes is send a message. Make sure that the New Jersey Devils know that you want this series, and that just because they're going to win this game, obviously game 3, they're still not going to win the series. And also tell your coach you want to play in game 4.
Elias already a 3-point game, thinking about more shorthanded. 3 assists for Patrick Elias. Now Terry Cole. 2 goals in the first 2 games combined, but 26 in the red sweater has been shut down. The vice has been really put on the offensive game of Carolina in this one. It just tightened as the game has progressed. The jitterbug out there, Gianta, has just been a huge thorn in the Carolina side. Now the other goal disallowed. Almost tipped one in earlier. Does have a goal to his credit. First ever career power play tally for 14 and white. No shots on this Carolina power play. Not exactly the way you want to set a tone to begin the third period.
Not exactly, and you had a full 2 minutes there to sort of set the record straight. Now they've got 8 seconds remaining in this power play, but the Hurricanes have to get physical in this period. They have to score a goal or 2 and go back and have their meetings between games 3 and game 4, figure out what they did wrong, regroup, and go back at it again.
Out pops Rafalski, even strength, 5 aside. Jelena trying to make a move. Adeline got there first, tipped to Rafalski, And he'll lob to the neutral zone. Undrafted free agent, Rafalski. As was John Madden, 11 White. Two pretty good players. Part of that Stanley Cup championship 2 years ago. And nearly won last year. Lou Lamoriello built up quite a team here. McKenzie pushed down. This is something you don't see too often. Berglund trying to keep it out. Oh, look out. Swoboda was hit hard into his own bench. It's a good thing he's 6'4" or so.
That was a hit from behind. Let's see if Carolina responds to that. Somebody's got to do something to step up and say, don't think you can do that to us.
Nieuwendyk and Richer crisscross. Joe Nieuwendyk regains. One assist for Nieuwendyk in this game has not been as big a factor as he was in Game 2 when he returned after missing Game 1 with the flu. Rafalski sends down low, bidding for a hat trick. The puck came up high. Craig McDonald almost hit him in the face. Adding injury to insult. It's been tough for these Canes. Ball lane for McDonald at the red line. He'll spin into the offensive zone and sprint off on a change.
Not a shot so far by either team in this period. Almost 4 minutes gone, and that's not good for the Hurricanes because they've only had 10 total so far in the game.
One big test Brodeur has faced as Weeks does start in net. Third period, by the way, for Carolina. Ron Francis had a breakaway, but not able to lift the puck over the fallen Brodeur on the move. Here's Ward, a shot. It's deflected in traffic. Sakura and Elias pop loose. Chance for a 2-on-1. Ward on the back check, able to even things up. Sakura hit hard by Aaron Ward. Brett Hennigan, lead of foot, great skater, off throw knee. Hennigan spins into the corner, intercepted by Niedermeyer. Speaking of great wheels, headman pass Christian Berglund was held up. And no call in the neutral zone. 4-0 game. The referees keep the arms down. Niedermeyer offensive zone, some room and shot. High, Weeks. His chest will cover up for a save.
That's the first shot of the period for either side. The Devils getting it. You're going to see a real, this period for the Devils is going to be simply, let's get out of here with this 4-0 win and do the same thing again in the next game. So you're not going to see a lot of shots by the Devils, I wouldn't think. They're not going to go offensive. They're just going to be not extremely defensive, but just safe enough to get through this last 15 minutes and get out of here. At the other end of the ice, on the other hand, the Hurricanes should be trying to, as we've said before, send a message, do something physical, get the puck on Brodeur and go hard to the net.
Twice in their franchise history, Jersey has been down 0-2 in series. Loose in front. Berglund trying to find a handle. Now Breland spins around the net. Holik with Berglund set up in front. Breland. And Christian Berglund, the rookie. He's back there for Sergei Breland. Ian Brindamore coming out hard in the corner. Holik has been a force on skates again. What a bull he is trying to handle in your own defensive zone. Malik lost the handle. Malik regained. Sharp angle shot sends it through the crease. Ryan buzzing around the net again. More possession time for Jersey in the Carolina defensive zone. Finally, Battaglia helps tip it down ice. Back-to-back years, 93-94, the Devils were down 0-2 in a series. Once they came back, once they didn't. Nieuwendyk, big shot, and Weeks makes another stop. 93, after losing the first two. They lost in 5 games to Pittsburgh. In 94, though, in Boston, they rallied after losing the first 2, and then went on to play your Rangers in the Eastern Conference Finals.
There's the ex-Calgary Flame, ex-Dallas, Joe Nieuwendyk, great on faceoffs. Watch this, there's one. There's 2 examples of it. And here's a third example of the dominance of Joe Nieuwendyk, who has won 14 of 16 in the first 2 periods. Nieuwendyk, who was traded to the Dallas Stars from the Calgary Flames for no other than Jerome McGinley.
This year won the Art Ross Trophy and Richard Trophy. Most points, most goals in the NHL. MVP caliber year, but you don't think he wins the Hart Trophy?
I don't think he does, because I don't think that the writers who actually do the voting on that trophy will vote for a player whose team did not make the playoffs. The last time that a player won the Hart Trophy with his team missing the playoffs was Mario Lemieux in 1988.
Gianta's looking Hall of Fame like himself in this game. Has he been something?
Well, I'll tell you, he could win the Hobie Baker today.
3 times a finalist for the Hobie Baker, in fact, at Boston College. Here's Rafalski, played his college hockey in Wisconsin while we're on the theme. Daniels knocks it into midair at his own blue line. Kevin Adams in pursuit. Danico gets there first. Daniels and Stevens come together. John Madden zone. Kenzie, a nice hit. Adams behind the net trying to cycle here, get something going for Carolina lead. And this one down by 4. Adams, Daniels out there, along with McDonald. Fourth line, getting some ice time for Paul Maurice. Maybe they can set a tone. Adams lost the puck, though, and Stevens helps bring it out. Berglund and Hennigan go shoulder to shoulder. Headman past Eliasson. Speed, he'll bust in. We'll stop and go move. What a skater Patrick Eliasson is. Great to watch in the offensive zone. Sikora and Hennigan get physical along the end boards. Tapping in some room. And White quickly closes the gap. Just have not seen O'Neill, Francis, and Kapanen open things up in the top line at all for Carolina today.
Well, they haven't been able to get anywhere. It's like they're skating in mud today. The Devils have just completely snuffed them out.
Carolina in a heap of trouble. They're down by 4 goals today.
Remember, writing bad checks will jeopardize your credit reputation and your military career.
Say ah and smile thanks to TRICARE's Family Member Dental Plan. Families of active duty service members can now get the same paid dental insurance plan they could get in the States. The plan is available to supplement military dental care offered in your overseas location. For more information, contact your local dental clinic or call the TRICARE Dental Program office at DSN 496-6358. Dental insurance, another benefit from TRICARE Europe.
If you've considered adopting or are an adoptive parent, you're invited to the 2002 European Adoption Symposium, May 11th. Get advice from legal advisors, American immigration officials, adoption agency representatives, and other experts concerning adoption issues and adoptive children. If you're interested in attending or wish to contribute expertise, time, or resources, contact the American Red Cross at the Landstuhl Regional Medical Center at DSN 486-7298.
In the Hartford, Carolina franchise history as this team won 3 straight playoff games. The Whalers in '86, Adams Division semifinals, 3-game sweep of Quebec. Actually won 4 in a row. They won 1 game in the next round and lost. Only series win ever for Hartford, Carolina, and the team's franchise history. That's it.
I remember those series very well because I was working at the time with Bill Dineen with the Adirondack Red Wings, and of course Kevin was a star of those Hartford Whalers.
Perhaps another year for him in Columbus. We don't know.
He said he's retired.
He's done now. Okay, wasn't sure for a while.
No. Columbus gave him a nice farewell.
Malik at the point, tipped in front. Brodeur trying to preserve the shutout, does just that with Battaglia right on the doorstep. We talked about the Hartford, Carolina history. Let's flash back. Ronnie Francis back in Hartford. And against the Nordiques, a 3-game series sweep. John Anderson scoring a goal, and our very own Ray Ferraro still busy with the St. Louis Blues in the playoffs now. Mike Liute, the goaltender then for Hartford, getting congratulations. It's been that long since the Whalers or Canes have won a playoff series.
And you saw Joel Kenville come in there to congratulate Mike Liute after that victory. And of course, Joel Kenville now the coach of the St. Louis Blues and does a great job with that club.
Since then, it's been 9 consecutive playoff series losses for Hartford/Carolina. Trying to end the misery here this year. Killing a sharp angle shot. Knocked away by Brodeur. Lots of bodies going down. Abilene was dumped down in the crease. Rafalski spins out the center.
And of course, 1986, when I went to school, is 16 years ago. And since they've had 9 straight series losses, that means they must have missed the playoffs 6 or 7 times.
You're a math major at Western Michigan?
Well, they called it arithmetic.
Swoboda. Playing behind the Jersey net. Abilene clears for Richin. Here's Aaron Ward. Wallin for Daniels. Heading to the halfway point. Third period. Sharp angle shot. Brodeur has it pinned between the post and the pad, and it is not in the net.
What a view from our goal cam.
Fans like it. They want to see another shutout for Martin Brodeur in the postseason. Time now for the Bud Light Stanley Cup summary. All 3 OT games in these playoffs. First playoff career goal. One scored by Bates Battaglia in Game 2 of this series. The Devils, last 4 playoff games. That streak about to end, and Carolina may have their 2-0 series lead end as well.
Another interesting stat has been that all 3 overtime games have been decided by 1 goal. Nobody says anything to that. That's that arithmetic coming out again.
Again it is. Adams a shot. A nice pad stop by Brodeur. Even some room taken down by Daniels from behind. Embellished perhaps a bit. No call. And a 4-0 game. Craig McDonald. Into the boards by Pandolfo. Gives him an extra face wash for good measure. Hannigan pinching in. Anything Carolina can do to get some offense going. Adams on that near post. Loose for Daniels. Really, this fourth line has probably been the best on the ice for Carolina today.
Extremely, this line has worked extremely hard for Carolina, but nobody can get much going here. The Carolina finally out shooting the Devils this period 5-4. Devils, the Carolina feeling very much now like Baron von Richthofen.
Gosh, a bad save. Please finish that. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, of course, and it was on this day in 1918 that the Red Baron was killed in World War I. We all know that.
Another piece of information. Martin Brodeur would like to add some of his information. 12 career shutouts in the playoffs.
Kids don't come with instructions on keeping them drug-free. But if they did, this is what they'd say. Call to find out what else you can do.
Oh, we're definitely helping to clean up the environment. I can't believe I get paid for this.
When the unfamiliar turns uncomfortable, remember to use a little caution, confidence, and common sense. Stay in well-lit areas where you have a good line of sight. Keep a steady pace and positive attitude. And above all, stay alert and aware of the activity around you. So even if you don't know the neighborhood, you can see your way through it by using some street smarts and common sense.
I can still feel his hooks in my ribs and taste the leather from his uppercuts. So why should I get out of the corner? Because I'd gladly take another 3 minutes of pain for a shot at the title. Wouldn't you?
Hartford, Carolina, just 1-10 all-time in franchise history and playoff series matchups. Things have dramatically changed in this best-of-7 series. The 2002 edition of the Canes played so well at home. A couple of 2-1 wins, one in overtime in Raleigh, but this is a different story entirely in Game 3.
Well, those folks that are sitting in Raleigh, North Carolina, watching this game on ESPN, looking for a bright spot from their club this afternoon, maybe you can think of this one. Kevin Weeks has only let in 1 goal on 22 Devil shots, as opposed to Arturs Urbe, who started the game and allowed 3 on 12. So Kevin Weeks comes in and only allows 1 goal and gives his club a chance to make some noise.
34-15 shot advantage. Favor the Devils. Taggling near corner center. Try comes through. Ward was pitching in. On the back door from his defensive spot, trying to get something going. Here's Gianta looking for a 3-on-2 odd man rush. Picked off at the red line by Brind'Amour. And intercepted right back by Niedermeyer. Feeds Holik on the move. Big shot. Almost. Holik with a huge slap shot. Rung the iron. Looking for a 5-0 Devil lead. He nearly had it.
And Bobby Holik rang the dinner bell like nobody's business. You could hear that all over the building. And that was a very bad pass, a back pass that started it. Here you see the shot. He gets a lot on it. Right under the arm of Weeks, and that was labeled to go in, but the goaltender's best friend, the goalpost, saved him. A bad back pass by Killing. Listen. Oh! And either somebody got married or else the dinner bell rang on that one. Let's take a look at it from the eyes of our Southwest Airlines goal cam. Off the post and back through the 5-hole. How do you like that one? A backwards 5-hole.
Rarely seen.
Rarely seen on the big show.
About the only thing that has gone well for Carolina today. Been a rough one. Wasacek bouncing off the half boards near side. And deflected away again by Richer, who got there first. You can see that rush developing well for Jersey. And just knowing Holik's heavy shot, Kevin Weeks had his hands full there. Already a goal and a helper for Holik in this one today. Jelena and Wasacek try to cycle outside the left circle. Abilene tracks it down far corner. And it's out to the neutral zone for Ward.
A bad pass there by Aaron Ward is going to cause another icing call.
Following our game, Neil Smith. Sports Center with Brian Kenny and Maurice Davis. NFL draft wrap up. NBA playoff in full swing as well. And NHL shockers continue. We'll talk all about the NHL playoffs. Can Detroit bounce back tonight in Vancouver? Can Boston bounce back in their series with Montreal? You and I saw game 1. Think of the Bruins having to deal with that media heat for 3 days after they dropped the opener to the Habs.
Well, they certainly have to deal with a lot of heat there. Everybody in the Eastern Seaboard has to deal with a pretty vicious media when they don't win, and Boston's no different. And of course, Boston waiting 2 seasons out of the playoffs to get in, and of course being the first seed, expecting to make short work of Montreal, the media that is.
That game tonight, game 3 on ESPN2, Molson Center, and what an atmosphere that'll be. Even if the Canadians don't win, welcoming back that team after a good performance in Boston. McDonald through center. Hit by Stevens. The play is offside. That's the presence of Scott Stevens. Never quite know on the open ice what the captain of New Jersey might do to you. And with his past history against Carolina, that's a dangerous place to be.
You know, a lot of people don't remember how Scott Stevens became a Devil. Do you? You remember how he became a Devil? I'll tell you how he did. He was signed by the St. Louis Blues as a free agent from Washington. Washington did not match, took the draft picks. He played for St. Louis, and then the St. Louis Blues, being a little bit greedy that they were back then, tried to sign Brendan Shanahan away from the New Jersey Devils as what they call a Group 1 free agent. They couldn't come to an equalization, so it went to an arbitrator, and the arbitrator awarded the New Jersey Devils Scott Stevens in return for them having signed Brendan Shanahan. And that's the rest of the story.
Well said, sir. third active playoff assist leader. Scott Stevens. Play is whistled down. Al McGinnis, number 1. With 114 helpers in his playoff career. The Blues and Hawks tied 1-1 in that series. And then Chris Chelios next with 93 assists. Scott Stevens, a force. And he said the other day, boy, I love having this intimidating force on teams. If they're worried about me, that's a good thing.
Yeah, you can see he tries to get that open ice hit all the time. That's where he got Lindros 2 years ago. That's where he got Shane Willis a year ago. He loves that open ice hit to come across the blue line. And guys got to keep their head up. The big Scott through there.
Conn Smythe Trophy winner, playoff MVP in the year 2000. The 6-game Cup win. Jason Arnott no longer here now, ironically in Dallas. The team he defeated that year did not make the playoffs after the trade. Holik and Kapanen some contact, and we have just not mentioned Sammy Kaplanen's name. Really not much.
Here comes
O'Neill either. And afterwards, things get rough at center, and some tempers boiling over. White and Berglund involved for New Jersey.
Well, the first penalty is going to go to Jeff O'Neill for roughing as he punched Berglund in the face.
So the troubles continue for Carolina. The sniper Jeff O'Neill is head of the penalty box, and the Devils have a huge lead.
The AFRTS News Center presents The Leaders. Army General William Kernan leads the U.S. Joint Forces Command, which, along with the North American Aerospace Defense Command, is now responsible for U.S. homeland defense. But a plan now being considered would give that job to a new command.
What I do see is Joint Forces Command divesting its responsibilities of land and maritime security to this new command that will be called Northern Command. The plan's going along very well. Both Joint Forces Command and NORAD collectively have worked together to form an implementation plan. When directed, we will put together the transition team, allow that sanctum to start standing up. In the interim, we will maintain the responsibility to do the land and maritime security of the homeland, and NORAD the aerospace piece. It will be a seamless transition to NORTHCOM when they're ready to accept the mission.
You know, teens today are running from a lot of different things. That's why, as a parent, you need to call the Boys Town National Hotline. 24 hours a day, they can provide the help and advice you need. And they'll send you this free booklet. Call 1-800-448-3000, the Boys Town National Hotline.
This is your esophagus. This is your ballpoint pen. This is the 9th time. Now, it's not the injury, it's the cumulative effect. What are you doing?
It's gone from bad to worse for Carolina. Roughing minor to Jeff O'Neill. He's in for the next 2. Under 6 to go, third period. It goes bad to worse because the Jersey power play has been so good. Already 3 power play goals of their 4 tallies.
Let's take a look at how Mr. O'Neill got himself in the sin bin this afternoon in New Jersey. You see Berglund was holding him over the head, and he says, take that. And that's a penalty in the NHL. And back comes Berglund with a, like his sister type of punch. There he is, and you see the zipper that he got earlier in the game from his head going into the plexiglass.
Power play, Elias. Near circle. Back for Falski. Tip just wide. Falski already with a couple goals. Bidding for a hat trick. Elias loose. Not a good man to have the puck so close to the net for Carolina. Falski fans on the shot, though. Comes out to Battaglia. Trying to make a move shorthanded. Nieuwendyk spins back for a Falski, and they'll reset. Falski at center. Joe Nieuwendyk some time. Elias Rafalski. Sikora at the other point. Spread it out a bit. And the shot on. Daniels first. The deflection then helps clear through center ice for Carolina.
Well, as we see on the score clock, under 5 minutes to go in this game, and the Devils just want to get out of here. Maybe put another goal in, but if nothing else, don't get injured and keep the momentum ready to go in game 4.
Falski trying to get there. Wallin banks it off the near wall to the neutral zone. Freeland trying to rake it free of trouble. 45 and counting on a power play try. Eric Cole. Rookie battling on the end boards there with Holik. Just trying to kill some more time here. Finally, it's brung out by Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer glides through center. You say glides because he skates so effortlessly. Great to watch on the blades. Outside the right circle, Niedermeyer. Plenty of time. Now Giunta. Got one already. Walks on in. Brian Giunta trying to go top shelf. Deflected out the shoulder of Weeks, then sent down ice by the Canes. One shot so far on net. Power play try here for Jersey, which is about to expire. O'Neill out of the box. We're at full strength. Berglund through center. Cross-ice dump in. Madden battle for it. McKenzie. Hit behind the net by Brett Hennigan. Wasacek springs Horn on that far wing. Swoboda will track it down in the corner. He and White come together. Wasacek, Gilina, and Swoboda. Swoboda has some words for White after the play. Joseph Wasacek. 2 clear playoff goals came last year in the series. First rounder with these Devils when Carolina was bounced in 6. They lost the first 2 games, then won 2 in a row. One on a Rod Brindamore overtime goal. Played with spirit and really gave the folks in Raleigh a lot of hope for this season. Another division championship. 2-0 lead in the series, which is about to expire. Sports Center is coming up next here on ESPN. As soon as we finish our business in Jersey. Less than 3 minutes away to that.
But, you know, don't be confused by a Devils win this dominant at this point in this series. Carolina being up 2-1 when this game ends. Carolina can easily come back and win Game 4 and be up 3-1. It's not like the regular season or when you get into a slump. I've seen a lot of series where a team gets completely blown out in a game, as my Rangers did one year to Washington, got beat 6-1 in a game in Washington. Or I'm sorry, we beat Washington 6-1 in the Cap Center and still lost the series. So the playoffs, you get a chance to regroup and go back at it. And Carolina certainly has to get ready for the next game.
McKenzie, left point, trying to send it in. Madden working hard in front. Ward has lost his stick. Without the lumber, trying to advance that, which is legal in your own zone with your hand. Battaglia and Brindamore. Rolling into the offensive zone. Hill can't keep it alive at the right point. Battaglia. Gloved by Brodeur, who's 90 seconds away from his 13th career NHL playoff shutout. Holik some speed. He's played a great game today. Off the foot of Bill McCreary, one of our 2 referees. Holik regains with Wallin draped all over him. Bobby Holik still has the puck. Out for Stevens. Shot high up the end boards. Game by Swoboda and Gilina. For Joseph Wasacek, just over 60 ticks to go in Game 3. Gilina still battling. His coach Paul Maurice told us before the game, Gilina and Brindamore never take a minute off, never a shift off. Play so hard. Great leaders on this Carolina team. And Neil, they're going to need some leadership in the room after a deflating Game 3 loss. But as you pointed out, still the lead in this series. They've got to keep that in mind.
And they will. They'll regroup. They'll have meetings. They'll find a way.
We've got time to check in with the Visa storyline. First career playoff goal for the former BC Eagle, Brian Giunta. Elias, 3 helpers already, and Herbe lifted early in the second period after the Bobby Holik power play goal.
Let's take a look at our storyline replay, and it is the first goal of the game. Here was a shot, a bad rebound was let out, and Brian Giunta, who has been a Giunta of a player today, got right in there, and at 5'7", 6 or 5, whatever it is, has just been an ultimate pest to these Hurricanes. He's been in the eye of the storm, you might say.
All game long. He really has been effective.
And that's tough when you're playing the Hurricanes.
Final moments from Jersey. Wallin. Game 3. From the drop of the puck to the horn, which sounds in 5 seconds completely dominated by the New Jersey Devils. Career NHL playoff shutout for Brodeur. Not exactly tested much in this one with 16 saves. And now with Game 4 coming up on Tuesday here in Jersey, a new series.
Well, this game, right from the beginning of the game, right through the end, was everything went the wrong way for the Hurricanes. They did everything you could possibly do wrong. Urbe didn't have the type of games he had in the first 2 games. This guy, Martin Brodeur, played spectacular. But I still say, David, was the taking of penalties early in the game, which gave the Devils a momentum on the goals that turned everything in the tide for the Devils. And this game was totally just a domination. But remember, they're going to have a couple of days here to regroup, have some meetings, figure out what they did wrong. This is a team that's still up 2-1. All they need here in the Meadowlands is a split, and they will dominate this series again. But now they cannot lose the next game. That's what the Hurricanes go into the next game knowing they don't want to lose and be back to ground zero, tied 2-2.
So our final from Jersey today, and Brian Gianto, the rookie, gets first start, presumably so. 4-0 Devil victory over Carolina. Next NHL action comes your way tonight on ESPN2. Doubleheader, Blues, Blackhawks, Red Wings, and Canucks. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. SportsCenter is next. For the entire crew, my partner Neil Smith, it's Dave Ryan saying so long from New Jersey, where the Devils are right back in the series. Now to SportsCenter, Brian Kenny and Reese Davis.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sports Center. Brian Kenny here alongside Reese Davis. See two completely different people, both here at the same time. A big trade on the second day of the NFL draft. All the baseball, some interesting baseball, too. Jose Rio on the hill, but first, the playoffs.
Well, it could be one of those split-screen trick things. You never know. It's been 17 years since we last saw one of the greatest playoff rivalries, the Sixers and the Celtics. Doc Moses and Andrew Toney, Bird, McHale, and DJ. Now, this series might not have 1985 star power, but it got a major boost in Game 1 with Allen Iverson back in the lineup, back to the scene of the break. He broke the bone in Boston 1 day short of 1 month ago. There's Russ greeting the Celtics before the game, and Iverson, no effects of the rust. A tough baseline J later in the first quarter. Iverson stroking 15 points in the first 11 minutes, but late in the quarter, he collides with Eric Strickland, goes down hard on that left hand. Now it was wrapped, padded, he stayed in the game. In the closing kicks, Iverson, Tony Delk got a piece of it. Walter McCarty. Yes. McCarty getting some love from Paul Pierce. Celtics up by 3. Second quarter, Boston by 5. Antoine Walker, one of 13 Boston steals. He misses. Oh, the fellow Wildcat has his back. McCarty was there. 14.6 of 8 from the floor. And Paul Pierce was showing off. Paul Pierce was the truth. Third quarter, Iverson tries to get it going. He had a long stretch. Missed 10 consecutive field goals at one point. In the third quarter from the outside, Iverson knew. No field goals after that first quarter, but did finish with 20 points. Celtics up by 14. Antoine, see the three. Beat the three. Walker with 20 points. Boston by 17. It's a 14-point game. Eric Snow driving. Paul Pierce. No soup for him. Later in the fourth quarter, Pierce. Rock, chalk, Jayhawk. 31 points, 11 boards, 4 steals. Iverson back. Would prefer to forget this one. 92-82. The Celtics beat the Sixers to take a 1-game-to-none lead in the series. 31 for Pierce, the 4th most ever by a player making his postseason debut. And he is the first Celtic to score 30 in a playoff game since, you want to guess? No. Kevin McHale. Kevin McHale, way back in 1993, dropped 30 on the Hornets in a first-round game. Sixers shot just 38%, 2 of 13 from 3. They won 3 of 4 from Boston in the regular season, had won 9 of the previous 10.